Good evening, and thank you for tuning into our broadcast as we enter the summer of Fool 182. I'm your host, Shoal de Paz. I don't know about you, but this cycle's Year of the Fool is shaping up to be a great one all across the Fifth Collide. We only see a few full years in our lifetimes, folks, so make the most of it and have some fun. As always, this cycle marks a year of festivals, competitions, and performances, honoring newness, folly, and marking the first year of our 182nd cycle since the Big Oops. With her coronation festivities in Crown City complete, the Regent Ray is set to begin her grand tour, starting from the Crown Lands to the Good on Wilds, the Cold Breaks, the Thurlush, and finally, the Phantom Isles. Across these lands, citizens and factions alike are preparing to receive her with celebration. Speaking of celebration, looks like this year is going to be a popular one for makers, as Years of the Fool always are. With Regent Ray's devotion to the Sun Arcana, it is said by many to be an especially auspicious year for makers to impart upon their offspring vitality and joy, and many creation points are seen as swell in applications. Excitingly, this means extra activity in the many towns and cities that run adjacent to the traditional walkabout trail. While each region prepares to host their events and receive the regent and advisor, Troponio Vega is, as always, doing the Year of the Fool best. Champions, artists, and celebrities are pouring into the city, eager to gamble, party, and try to get a good view for the spinning of the Wheel of Fortune. As with any Year of the Fool, the Fifth Collide will scrutinize the spin closely, as many believe it sets the tone for the entire 22-year cycle. As for this broadcaster, I'll be there live and up close, reporting from the top of Riskotheque Tower. See it here first, folks.
See it here first, in Troponio Vega, the neon jungle city that balances crime, luck, hedonism, and law on the edge of a coin. Despite its lawless reputation, each faction maintains a presence here. Specters hold sermons on every street corner, while in every alleyway scrappers sell drugs and muscle to the royals who come to party and gamble. The cogs come to showcase their technological wonders and to woo wealthy investors. The deep lows come to provide an illusion of order. And the analogs, well, they say every analog runaway ends up in Troponio Vega. The city feels as though it's stacked in layers. Glowing vines and massive palm fronds sprouting from every crack, crevice, and skyscraper precipice. Drops of condensation collect on the glass and on the glowing billboard screens, carving glistening paths as they drip down from the canopy level to the pavement far below, refracting the neon lights into a hazy miasma. The androids and humans of Troponio Vega stay up all night, and so do the birds. You're so high up that you can't see the ground from the window of your suite at Riskotheque Casino. But you can hear the birds.
You find yourself in a Riskotheque suite. The room you've been put up in is almost unbearably swank, as all top-floor Riskotheque suites are. 3 rooms, each with a bed the size of a small swimming pool embedded into the floor. In the bathroom, there is no tub or shower, but an AI-powered blob of warm water that disrobes and engulfingly washes you, finishing you off with a spritz of personalized perfume before returning your clothes cleanly pressed. In the common area, a bar in the back rotates into a DJ station and dance floor at the push of a button. On the wall next to a massive window, a panel of ornate knobs and switches allows you to adjust every little detail of your environment. You could turn the walls see-through if you choose, or create a marvelous jungle tableau. The room is crowded with many divine floral arrangements, and a small feast of delicacies local to the Phantom Isles has been laid out for you and your party. Your employer spared truly no expense. Who do you think of the 3 of you arrived first in the room?
I feel like Crater's pretty punctual.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm very punctual.
Celestine wouldn't be going anywhere around here first, not without Crater.
Well, Crater, as you enter the room, what do we see?
So, what you see is a 7'6" steam android. Very tall, very, very broad-shouldered, a very big, menacing-looking creature. As you're looking at him more closely, you'll see that he looks rather old, where his bolts that are holding his limbs together are pretty rusted over at this point. His torso is essentially the size of a boiler. It's a large cylindrical shape with some blotchy black marks on it, which makes it look like it has been burned over years and years and years, and he looks rather hot to the touch. His head is most likely the size and general shape of a milk crate, and in there is 2 sunken LED lights for eyes that are giving off a faint blue color right now.
If I were to lick my finger and put it on Crater, would it make a like tss?
It would do that, and then you'd have an annoying blister on your finger for like 2 months afterwards.
Golly.
Spicy.
Okay, so you arrive and you check out the room. It's maybe you're arriving after going out briefly. It is the night of the event. So maybe you were in here before and you took a quick walk around, or maybe you're arriving here for the first time. But in either case, you find yourself in this incredibly swank room.
Holy shit, this is swanky, bud.
Great. That's perfect.
We got it.
We got it. As you say that, who wants to go next?
Okay, so then if Celestine arrives a little after Crater, I definitely think that like he arrives with the assistance of, you know, some hotel staff, because he's definitely gotten lost. This is way too big for him. He's never seen anything like this before. And so someone had to show him to his room. And so I think as he enters, he's just like, thank you very much. I really do appreciate you taking the time to help me here today. And, I feel mighty embarrassed, if I'm honest. I've been here before, and then, I wandered away and plumb got lost. But here you go. Here's for your time. And then I just try to give him way too much money as a tip.
Exactly how much?
I'm sorry. All I've got on me here is about 15 gold. But if you'd like it, you can have it. This was very kind of you. This is a big city, and there's not a lot of friendly faces, and you've done me a nice service here, so here you are.
Most generous of you, sir.
Have yourself a good night. All right, so Celestine walks into the room, and I think he sort of just looks around at all of the swank and is just a little bit uncomfortable. Goes and finds what is probably the least comfortable chair in the room. Just finds something that's supposed to probably be a step stool or something like that. Not really any cushioning, and sets himself up near the window and sits on it.
It's still comfy.
This is not what I'm used to. Crater, I do thank you for bringing me along here. So Celestine, as he sits down, you see he is as different looking from Crater as he could be. They're both androids, but this is a completely different kind of android, where Crater is huge, 7'6", and sort of big and sort of rough and tumble. As a Gears android and a young Gears android, Celestine is slender. If he was a human with muscle, you'd call him lean. And he's only about 5'6", makes him tall for a Gears android, but significantly shorter than Crater and, most other people. His joints move smoothly. He's a new android. But he's still got the kind of stiff walk of a cowboy, the kind of cowboy strut, and he dresses the part of a cowboy. From the boots up, he's complete cowboy. Brown leather, dusty, worn boots with little gears where there should be spurs. He got brown leather chaps over top of faded blue jeans. A brown leather belt with shiny metal disc as a belt buckle. He's got a vest of worn brown leather, and underneath that vest is a very nicely pressed, very loud floral blouse that belonged to his ma. He around his neck, he's got a deep purple bandana with white stars embroidered on it, and he wears a white cowboy hat that's just a bit too big for his head. He wears a pair of gun holsters on his hips. One of them's completely empty, and the other one is full of stalks of wheat. For chewing, of course, and strapped to his back, and I don't know, maybe this is not, I'm not sure, what's our situation with weapons in the casino, but he typically would carry around, a rusted old machete from the farm and a surprisingly like fancy looking shiny chrome hubcap that he sort of straps to his back. But I'm not sure what our situation is in terms of like carrying weapons into the casino.
Yeah, y'all have been given temporary platinum patron status, so you can have your weapons on you.
All right. Well, that's Celestine. I think he sits down and tries to get himself as comfortable as he can in this like too soft kind of room, and just goes to Crater like, Crater, as I said, I do appreciate you inviting me along. You know, I don't know really anyone else in town, and I'm not sure what I'd be doing tonight if I wasn't here with you. But I wish I knew why we were doing this. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not ungrateful for all you've done for me. I probably wouldn't be alive without you. I owe you everything. You know, nobody's been kind to me like you have since I left Mom and Pa's farm. But this business that we're doing, I mean, look, I'm young and there are things that I don't know, as you well know, that, you know, some things that I'm not aware of because of the trouble with my thinker. But
your thinker's just fine, man.
That is very kind of you to say, and that means a great deal to me, I will have you know. But one of the things that I do know is that in most cases, theft is frowned upon. So why are we doing this?
You know, it's definitely not the most legal of jobs to be doing, but I do think that at the end of the day, this is probably going to help both you and I out more than you can really think. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a net positive, and I don't know, man, like, it's just some rich people, like, we're not really on their side, are we?
I mean, Crater, you know that I'm on your side no matter what. And if you say that, you know, this is just going to be positive and no one's really going to get hurt, then
I didn't say that, but
I'm confused and troubled. But I would like to think that, you know, if we're just taking something from folk that have a lot, then perhaps they won't miss it.
Yeah. No, and like I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's insurance and this kind of thing, you know.
Insurance, right?
Yeah.
Insurance. Okay, yeah. No, you know what, Crater? I plumb forgot about the insurance, and I feel a lot better now that you've reminded me. Thank you very much.
I think as you're sort of having this conversation, our last character walks down the hall and then enters the room.
All right. So Riot walks into the room slowly and deliberately, with complete ease of being in this room full of people. She stops at the doorway in a very flattering pose and stretches her body, kind of inviting the eyes of everybody around her. Then she ignores them all and walks right into the room with a very certain and powerful walk, kind of like a lion. And Riot, so this character in my mind is an unbelievably hot, modded human with long dark hair done up in a high ponytail with a piece of hair always falling over her one left eye. She has a casual but watchful gaze that misses nothing and a pretty much constant smirk. There are robotic elements permeating her entire left side, including a mechanical left arm. She's currently wearing party attire, which involves a purple skin-tight floor-length dress with a slit up to her hip and a small but heavy-duty pack strapped to her thigh. And it's unclear what's in there, but there's a vibe as though there could be ammunition, money, illegal material, who knows what else is in there. And she makes a beeline through the room full of people towards Crater and Celestine.
So she's got the slit in her dress, and you can see she's put the pack on the slit side so it pokes through.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not only your mind that she is unbelievably hot. I will just clarify that this is it's like your sleeping quarters at Riskotheque. So there aren't other people in here. It's just It's just the three of you.
Yeah, so that was just a show for Celestine and I, pretty much.
Yeah, totally.
That was quite the show.
How's it going, lover boys?
Oh, you know, hanging loose. It's good to see you again. Thanks for showing up on time.
Sorry.
As Crater looks down at his wrist.
Celestine immediately stands up. Celestine is like on his feet the moment she enters the room, on his feet, hat off.
The gentleman. Who's this one?
Ma'am, my name is Celestine Wanderoff, and I expect you are Riot. Crater has told me a great deal about you, and I just want to say it is an absolute pleasure to make your acquaintance, and that any friend of Crater's is a friend of mine, so I'm at your service.
Oh, so cute. You're wonderful. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for getting this together, Crater Wayne. It's been a while.
It has been a while, has it not?
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't really known this young gentleman for very long at this point, but I think he's going to be a trustworthy little guy for us. Like he's so loyal. Like look at his face. A face like that could never betray us, right?
He's got a great face. I feel good about this.
I have no intention of betraying you with my face or any other part of my body.
That's the attitude, son.
I think Celestine sort of like sits up a little straighter when Crater calls him son.
Riot. Do we have a timetable we need to be following for tonight?
Well, so I guess I should tell you about where I got this information, right? Is that something you'd want to know to feel comfortable?
I mean, I'm sure it'd be useful information for sure.
Okay, so my person is a very lofty member of the royal court by the name of Lux Booker, the curationist. You know, he gives me all kinds of diplomatic immunity at parties. I'm usually his go-to for any kind of sourcing that he needs for parties, for people to have a good time. And he gave me this info on this job that I think will be in all of our best interests to accomplish. And it involves a main item that's going to be at the auction after the spinning of the Wheel of Fortune. We're going to be leaving Riskotheque with it, and we'll be taking it to Demands Jr. in Aquaketch for our reward. So as far as timetable goes, I feel like possibly getting to the auction area before the spinning of the wheel takes place so that we can get this main item and get the heck out of there would be in our best interest.
Sorry. Forgive me. This is my first time really at a big event here in Triple Neo Vega. What exactly is the spinning of the Wheel of Fortune?
That's a good question.
DMs.
So the spinning of the Wheel of Fortune is basically, it's just a symbolic gesture at the top of every year. They hold it like it's done at like exclusive parties like you're at right now, but the idea is that they spin the wheel and it lands on one of the archetypes, and that sort of gives it lays the basis for how the year is going to go. So if it's like the Empress or the Lovers, it might be a good year for like harvest and things like that. However, at the beginning of the cycle, which is where you are now, you're in the Fool year, this spin also is thought to dictate how the whole cycle is going to go.
So it's an especially clutch spin this year.
Why don't you make a history check for us?
Does anybody?
First roll.
Yeah, anybody who wants to.
First roll of the campaign. History is not my strong
I
suit.
rolled.
A natural one.
Are you kidding?
Wow.
You're kidding.
Your first roll?
The first roll. The first roll of the campaign is a natural one.
That's foreboding. I got a 19, so
Okay,
if
there we
that's
go.
better.
Save
It's significantly better.
Yeah.
Riot, you probably know this and have been thinking about it since you've known about this event coming up. But you know things like a long time ago there was like one cycle where it started on the tower, and that was some of the worst warfare the world had seen. And let's see, the last cycle was the Fool. So the last 22 years have been like 22 years of revelry, like basically big party vibes in the last cycle. And all of these spins could very much be attributed to like science, like, good harvests happen. People go into war, people party a lot, it doesn't necessarily like, it's not like people watch this to see what's going to happen, but it's just like, it's almost like a superstition with a lot of coincidences.
Amazing. So everybody will be there watching that.
Yeah, there's going to be like there's going to be like a watch party, and then it's also broadcast, like over PIP.
So I feel like that's our sweet spot to enter the display room from the casino floor. So to get in there, we're going to be needing a key card 001. This key card can be found on a lanyard around the MC's neck. The display room is guarded by a non-sentient bot called Pentadrone, so keep an eye out for him. We're going to have to disable key abilities as the best course of action there. I think watch out for a noisy alarm that I've heard's down there, as well as possibly some other non-sentient smaller bots that are also guarding the area.
That should be no problem.
And the chamber, the chamber containing the main item is much more precarious. Laser force fields, the whole works. So we're going to have to figure that out as we go. But I have faith in our little party. The main item that we're looking for is a small statue of a dog.
A dog.
Yes.
What, may I ask, is so valuable about this statue of this little dog?
Like, is it like a really cute dog?
I mean, if it's a really cute dog, then I'm going to have trouble giving it up.
I don't ask questions, I just get the money. So the best case scenario when we get that item is to just walk out of the chamber, walk out of the display case, and take the elevator down to the vehicle and get out. But, things could go awry, so I guess we should take this moment to steel ourselves because our moment's coming up pretty quick.
Speaking of your vehicle, you all notice that there is a small wrapped box with like a little piece of twine on it in the center table of this room.
I'm assuming this present is for one of us, eh?
I think you should open it.
Be my guest.
Right? How about you do the honors? You're the one who got us into this situation.
Fine. I go over and I reach to the thigh on the other side of my dress and get out a small dagger and open up the package.
You open it up and you find enclosed 3 earpieces.
Oh, dope.
You find 3 uses of, before that, you also have 500 complimentary chips, which have been given in this box for the casino. Celestine, you would have the key fob for the vehicle, which it basically, once you press it, it acts as a, what's the word I'm looking here for, B?
Like a valet?
Yeah, it's like a valet bot. Sorry. So the key fob activates like a valet bot, which will bring your vehicle close to where you need to be, just in case you need it. And just in case you need it, you find, probably Riot and Crater would recognize this. You find 3 one-time doses of drop silver.
Drop silver.
So drop silver it's sort of a variant of quicksilver, which is it's a common drug found on the 5th Collide, but drop silver has a special property which allows you to basically land safely from a very high fall.
Sick.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool.
Just in case. And like quicksilver, it is applied it's like a sticker, and you put it on your body.
Amazing. Like a patch.
I think while Riot is opening the package and they're inspecting it, Celestine is sitting there and rolling himself a joint with some of Mom Pa's good weed.
You better make sure you go easy on that stuff, bud. Like, we do have a big night.
Ms. Riot said we were meant to steel ourselves for what's to come, so that is what I intend to do. Would you all like some? Well, that's crickets. Sounds like more for me. But while we're all talking here, Crater, I must admit that what Ms. Riot has just described is a sight more complicated than I was expecting. I thought we were going to come and take a thing and be on our way. I mean, the end bit where we just drive like hell out of town, that makes some sense to me. But the rest of this is terribly complex.
Well, I think you'll find out once we get going. It's probably gonna be fine. Like, at worst, we gotta fight some robots in a corridor somewhere. But like, otherwise, I think we're just gonna be leaning on Riot to go up and steal a key card and like fancy her way through some conversations with some rich folks, and then we'll grab a dog and be out of here like it's nothing.
Greater, if you're confident, then of course. Naturally, I trust you. Ms. Riot, I feel it's only fair to let you know that Crater asked me to come to be your driver, and that I most certainly can do, but the rest of this is quite new to me.
I mean, we could always use a little extra muscle. So come along, you'll learn some things.
Muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Muscle. Absolutely, ma'am. Muscle.
So how long do we have until the wheel happens, the spinning?
It's like, I would say like maybe like 4 p.m.-ish, like early afternoon, early evening rather. So you definitely have some time. You can use this time to make any plans that you want to. You basically covered everything that is going to happen in the heist. The only extra thing that I'll add that you would all know is that you've been told that there's 2 people of note that will be attending the event. So that's a prominent analog partier and an old specter preacher. This information has been given to you as 2 people who have histories of like bringing interesting things to this sort of party. So they might be of use to you if you want to talk to them, want to see what they have to say, want to see what they have, like that sort of thing. Of course, you are in a casino, so there's, you kind of understand how people are interacting downstairs. But in any case, this time is for you to make any plans that you would like to, given the information that you have. So feel free to take as much time as you need.
I feel like our first move is getting that key card.
Yeah, so are we expecting the MC who's wearing this fob to be like already in action by the time we get downstairs, or do you think we should hit him before he gets up on stage and is visible to everybody?
I think probably before. I think he'll be milling around. I've seen him before.
Crater, when you say hit him, are you gonna hit him? Because like I've seen you hit people, and it's dramatic.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna contain myself. I'm more here just to help Riot along as she does her sneaky bullshit and maybe lifts a card. I think is probably the best way to go about this. But if anyone causes any trouble, as the great Limp Bizkit used to say, like, I'm not scared to break shit.
Bless you.
Celestine sort of like under his breath is just like, Limp Bizkit, interesting. Limp Bizkit, all right. This philosopher Limp Bizkit is very interesting. Is there a place that I can find one of his books?
I'm sure there's an HMV somewhere in town here.
Celestine looks more confused, but like in a way that's like, other people know a lot of things that I don't.
Celestine, roll a d20 for me. Don't add anything to it.
That's a 6.
Okay. So if it were an 11 or higher, Sir Limp Bizkit would have been in attendance at this party, but unfortunately he couldn't make it for this event. He's busy.
Well, that is a shame. I will have to make my way back to Troponeo Vega to bend the ear of Mr. Bizkit at some point.
He's got HMVs to run.
All right, I'm sorry. Okay, we are getting off topic. All right, so we go downstairs. We locate the MC. Riot, you do your thing. You go up. You lift that card off his neck. Like,
no problem.
Potentially, we could cause a distraction if need be, but you seem like you're pretty good with your hands.
It won't be an issue.
I love the confidence, kid. Do we have access to a map by chance?
Yeah, you've been given a map. You know the general layout. It's basically a big room where the event is being held, and then the north end of the event is where you need to go to get to the main room, the display room rather.
So we head to the casino floor. We have these chips. We might as well use them.
Well, I mean, I suppose if y'all are willing to show me how to play what they play here.
No problem. I feel like you're going to get a kick out of this.
Yeah, like in my experience, kid, you walk up to the first table you see, get all the money that you own to your life, and then bet it all on black and just see what happens.
All on black. Interesting.
Sir, this is poker.
Exactly.
Do either of you have any fancy ideas about dealing with this, what did you call the pentadrone in this hallway that's going to probably give us some trouble?
Well, I do have one major thought, and I kind of unlatch something in my shoulder with the move of my right arm. This is my mechanic arm, and it flips out into a full-on what I call my firearm, but it's a double-barreled pistol that becomes my left arm.
What?
So this is my go-to.
Oh my stars! I have never seen the like.
All right, I think we're in good hands here then.
That is exceptional. Ms. Riot, you continue to surprise and impress. I've known you for all of 5 minutes, and I am, floored.
I like this one. It's a good first go-to, but I feel like between the three of us, this thing won't be a problem.
So perhaps we take a tour around the casino, get the lay of the land, as it were, and, I don't know, see what our exits look like, and I mean, y'all seem to have this well in hand without me, but if you need some sort of lookout or whatnot, I'm of course, at your disposal.
I feel like there might be some interesting folks to meet down there as well.
Celestine, if you want to be learning this lifestyle, I'm glad to take you on my wing here. This is a big first job, but we'll get your feet wet.
Well, I mean, Crater, I feel like you've been preparing me for something like this, having me, make the deliveries that you've been asking me to make, all that medicine that you've been having me deliver to those nice folks who don't feel so well. In packages of medicine that I'm not supposed to open, of course, but
You should never open those packages.
I never have, and I never will.
It's Celestine.
Well, should we have at her then there, Phyllis?
Follow your lead, Ms. Riot.
Yeah, let's do it.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna pop my earpiece in too.
Oh, yeah, let's do that first.
Yeah, Celestine puts his earpiece in and his rolled joint behind his ear, and we'll save it for later.
Once they get put in your ear, and they work in androids. Just, you don't have to worry about it. It's fine.
I'm assuming there's an ear hole on the side of my head. That's fine.
Yeah. In any case, once you put them in, they become nearly invisible.
Perfect.
But once you have them in, you kind of, as you're sitting in the room together, you just kind of get a slightly clearer audio picture of who you're listening to. You can tell that once you move up to big distances, you'll be able to hear each other and communicate even when you're far away.
Sick.
All right, let's Ocean's 11 this bitch. Let's go downstairs.
So with that introduction and planning, y'all exit your suite and make your way to the elevator, which is a clear tube. And in fact, as you enter it, you realize it faces inward towards a massive casino floor far below you. As you descend, you realize the elevators themselves form a complicated network of paths along each wall, traveling not only straight up and down, but horizontally and diagonally as well. The pieces moving constantly as they hurdle guests from one end of Riskotheque to another. But this is but one of Riskotheque's many casino floors, and in fact, this is the uppermost level typically reserved for the wealthiest patrons and most exclusive events, like the event you're attending tonight. Finally, the elevator reaches the casino floor, and the doors open with a rush of humid tropical air.
Welcome to Riskotheque. Welcome to your big win. Our accepted currencies and daily exchange rates are available at the guest services kiosk. Today's lucky numbers are 11, 47, and the first 7 digits of pi. Unless registered in our Platinum Patrons program, please leave your weapons with the Master of Arms. Welcome to Riskotheque. We are not liable. Riskotheque. We have no limit. Play to win it. Welcome to Riskotheque. Welcome to your big win.
So you reach the casino level and disembark, and you see that the floors are black and glistening, and though they feel stable under your feet, it appears to be moving in slow, sparkling waves. Like your suite, this place is absolutely dripping with greenery, and real birds fly from vine to vine. Deco drones fly overhead, playing music, doling out compliments, and contributing to the neon mood lighting, yes, but also surveying, recording, and reporting every detail to the floor manager and MC. Hardly high stakes, and despite your intel, Harley is a she. And above it all, suspended and rotating on some invisible platform, floats the fabled Wheel of Fortune. On each segment of the wheel, an image of one of the archetypes glows and casts a soft neon light on the gamblers and revelers below. And so it's a large room. It's full of people. They look absolutely exceptional, both android and human alike. The stench of wealth is all around you, as is the stench of hedonism. And the floor is yours.
So would you say that we could assume that most of these people are royals too, or is this common folk at this event as well?
There are certainly not expected to be a lot of common folk here, but not necessarily all royals, just people who would have business getting an invitation to such an important event. So, there's probably some important cogs here who are romancing some royal investors with their latest ideas for a technological marvel. But basically anybody who's here like is somebody.
Who's who?
Mm-hmm.
I think Celestine is just like, just a bit shocked. I don't think he's like seen this many people with this kind of wealth gathered in one sort of small place in his memory. So he's just sort of like doesn't really know what to do first and is sticking very close to Crater.
Can we, you want to take a walk around here, see if we see anybody of note?
Yeah, are you looking for anything in particular?
I think we're looking for MC first off.
Yeah, and then like in our docket for this, keeping an eye out for those two people that we said were of importance.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't everybody give me a perception roll?
Woo.
Please, not a natural one.
Oh, damn, I'm rolling quite well.
I want to play D&D.
That's a 23 for Celestine.
Shit.
19 for me.
Oh my
That's
God.
an 11 for Crater.
Don't you worry, buddy. I got your back.
Let's start with you, Celestine. What is it that you're in particular looking for?
I mean, I don't know that Celestine's got like a thing that he's looking for. I think he's just trying to like take it all in and make some sense of it.
All right. Well, you're looking around the room, Celestine, and a couple of things stick out at you. The first thing is that you do notice one other cowboy hat over at the bar, and you notice it because it is like way bigger than yours somehow. Sitting on top of a human's head, although their back is to you, but they seem to be like gesticulating somewhat drunkenly from the bar. Another thing that catches your eye, I mean, the wheel, right? Like it's floating like above the crowd. It looks like super majestic.
That's a majestic wheel up there.
Riot, you looking through the room, kind of like passing over the tables. There's, gamblers sitting at various poker, blackjack, baccarat tables. And eventually sort of making the circuit of the room, you see an android. Hold on. So a torso, like an android torso atop a unicycle wheel on the shorter side. A Gears android, and as she sort of cycles through the room, she's boosting herself a little bit higher and a little bit lower if needed, and her face is on a swivel, and as it swivels, you can see it cycle through a couple of different expressions, so her face like rolls. You see like a super cheerful one, and then a really watchful one for a second, and then right back to cheerful as she looks to someone and waves. This is Harley High Stakes, and she's doing her round, she's schmoozing, and her rose gold colored torso and wheel are accented with ornate jewels of all colors.
Damn.
Crater, it's a little busy in here and intense, and you're just getting this like big rush of noise and sound, basically.
It's loud.
All right. So this Harley High Stakes, is this someone who's kind of an authoritative figure?
Oh, sorry. Yes, Harley High Stakes is the MC.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Awesome.
That's an important piece of info.
Can't you tell from the name? What other job would she have?
So I think what I want to do here, and I'm turning to, I guess I don't turn to the other two, I speak with my earpiece. I want to keep an eye on Harley High Stakes there, but I don't want to act just yet. I feel like if we can time ourselves perfectly, we can bide our time and get comfortable in here so we know the lay of the land. I want to find this one analog partier in here who's a high bettor. So everybody keep their eye out for that person and keep an eye as well on Harley High Stakes.
Do I know what I'm looking for? What does this analog person look like?
Good question. They'll probably not have anything too, geary or fancy on.
Okay, so with your 20 whatever perception from earlier, you realize that when you saw the cowboy hat person, you also heard them yell out like, "Yeehaw!"
Oh, so we had nailed it on our first try, and we're just standing here twiddling our thumbs. Okay.
Should we? I feel like Celestine, you might have a bit of a connection here.
I mean, if you think so, I certainly wouldn't mind going to have a chat with a fellow cowboy hat wearing individual. Clearly, we have a lot in common, and I'm sure that would be a stimulating conversation. Off I go. I tip my hat to Riot and Crater. And then I just saunter right off to the bar.
I think as Celestine walks off, I might just turn to Riot real quick and be like, God, he's such a sweet little boy, eh?
He's a gentle bot. I really think, I think he's so green, but I think it's a good gamble. I think he's going to be good.
I think it's probably best if we don't tell him absolutely everything. Like I didn't really disclose to him that every other scrapper had turned down this job before him.
Right.
Because he's so naive, I think probably the less he knows, probably for the better for everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm fine to just keep it between you and me if that's okay with you.
I think it's the best plan of action for now. Yeah.
All right. No problem. Lips are sealed. So for now, I'm going to keep an eye on Harley High Stakes. I'm just going to do a little bit of a mill. But keep me updated in the earpiece.
For sure. I think I'll turn and maybe just take a stroll around the floor here and look for bodyguards or security that might be lurking against the walls and just kind of see where everyone's standing.
Okay, so Riot, you're going to sort of like low-key tail Harley. Crater, you're doing like a sweep of the room, trying to sort of get a read on security, and Celestine's going over to chat with Cowboy Hat.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
All right, let's follow Celestine first. So you make your way through the room. People are kind of like, occasionally a person will notice you and like look down with a bit of a smile. You make your way up to the bar, and this person's got their back to you and they're gesturing.
Pardon me, sir, but that is an extremely large hat. I'm quite impressed. Where did you get a hat like that?
Turns around really slowly and then spits on the ground, like right in front of you. It's some hat you got there.
Well, I thank you. It was a gift. It was a gift from my ma.
So, just two hat lovers here, huh?
Well, that's what I figured. I mean, I saw you from across the room. I saw you with that glorious hat, and I knew that you and I were, kindred spirits, that we had much to talk about. So I figured I'd come on over and introduce myself. Celestine Wanderoff, how do you do?
Name's Yeehaw McGraw.
Now that is a name I will not soon forget.
Spits on the ground again.
Mr. McGraw, do you have some sort of malfunction with your salivary glands? You seem to be spitting on the floor of this place.
Just yeehaw is fine, son. But no, I just, what they serve around here is just, it's not quite what I'm used to. It's a little bit too flowery, if you get what I'm putting down.
I feel like I do. I've had a few beverages since I've landed myself in Troponia Vega, and none of them quite have the same earthiness, that same dirty bite, I should say, of Mom and Pa's moonshine. So I feel like I do understand your predicament.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
That is a 14.
Oh my God. Finally, I get to talk to someone who knows what's what around here, because oh man, everybody's so tight, everybody's so wound up, everybody's just like on some sort of high up horse, and it is refreshing to talk to you. So, where are you from, and who'd you know to get in here?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not from around here. I haven't been in Troponia Vega very long, I was staying with my ma and pa in the, little farm out in a small dusty town in the Huron-Wilds, and, found my way here, and, I suppose I came with my friend Crater back there, and I just, wildly point to Crater, as I'm sure he's trying to not be noticed, but I'm just like, right over there, that fella right there, that's my friend Crater Wayne.
Fuck.
Now, you say you're from the Huron-Wilds.
Well, that is where I was before I came here, yes.
Mm-hmm. He, looks up and down, kind of clocks that you're a Gears android. Interesting. And, what have you come here to find?
Well, sir, that is a nebulous question. I suppose you could say that I've come here to find myself, if it's not too pretentious to say so.
I would say that it is, but I'm still into it. He orders 2 more drinks, and gets one for himself and passes one to you.
Well, sir, that is mighty kind of you. Here, allow me to reimburse you for your kindness, and I take one of my chips and give it to him.
Son, this is, I think it's worth a bit more. You know what? Never mind. So your mom and pa, did they give you this whatever you came with to find yourself?
I'm sorry, give me what?
Well, you got some chips there. Obviously, you came with something.
Oh, I mean, these are from Crater, my friend Crater back there, right over there. You see him over there? That big fella right there. You can't miss him. Yeah, no, he gave me the chips.
Well, I must say it was just a delight speaking with you. Maybe we'll see each other at a table, play a game.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm getting the sense that this conversation is over for you, and I respect that. And before it becomes awkward, I will take my leave.
He doesn't say anything more, but he just does turn back to the bar.
Celestine tips his hat to him, even though he's not looking at him, and then wanders away. Just hands in his pockets, just wanders away, looking at stuff.
Okay, let's cut over to Riot. So you're sort of given like a easy pursuing of Harley high stakes as she like makes her way around the room. And as you kind of ease closer and closer, you can hear that like every table she passes, she knows somebody. She's giving like smiles and salutes and waves. And as her expression like cycles through from like big smile to bigger smile to like impressed look, every now and then it cycles to like a shrewd glance across the room at a floor manager who like, snaps to attention and like goes scurrying across the room with like a tray of chips for somebody. It seems like she's just very busily at work, both minding her stuff and taking care of the guests.
Okay, I tap on I get my earpiece going. I feel like the time might be right to move sooner rather than later. How does everybody feel about that?
I feel like the only thing that we really need to be worried about is if she notices that the card's missing. So
So we have to move fast.
Yeah.
Well, I have finished my conversation. It was very pleasant, so I am no longer otherwise engaged. I'm ready for whatever you need, Ms. Riot.
Well, listen, I think she's going to be here for a while. She seems to be involved with the guests. Why don't we play a game?
Where we bet it all on black? Is that?
I mean, why not?
Well, and Celestine, I saw that you made a friend over there too. So why don't we bring him involved? Maybe try and get some of his money.
Oh, well, I suppose I could. He did seem to be finished speaking to me, and so perhaps one of y'all would prefer to speak to him yourself. The gentleman's name was Yeehaw McGraw, which I thought was a very colorful name, and he had a colorful personality to match. We spoke for a little while, and he seemed friendly enough, if a bit, I don't know, judgy. Is that an unkind thing to say?
It's not unkind if it's true. So is there a table somewhat close to where he was sitting? Because he was at a bar, right?
Yeah, he's at a bar. Do you want to like take a look at yeah, okay. So if you take a look over at where Yeehaw was sitting, there are a few blackjack tables. Two of them are quite full. One of them has like 2 or 3 people sitting at it. It seems the hands seem to be moving like kind of slower at that table because there's one android that's kind of seems to be like talking quite a bit.
Okay, so I was more asking that to see if there's one in earshot of him.
Oh, I see. I gotcha. Okay, yeah, I would say that like there's definitely a blackjack table within earshot of Yeehaw. Like he'd have his back facing it, but
okay. Well, guys, it looks like there's a table over there that has a few open spots. Why don't we just meet up over there?
Sounds good to me.
Celestine is carrying his chips in his hands in front of him, just like looking around like an obvious absolute newbie to a casino. Just like, what do I do with all of these? Where do I put them?
Yeah, and I think like as I'm walking closer to the table, I'll follow Celestine's lead and just be like, "Oh fuck, buds! I don't really know how to play any of these games. I have too much money here. What am I gonna do with all of this?"
Okay, so you're making a huge noise of like all of the money that you have as you sit down, and that does kind of like perk up Yeehaw's ears as you take a seat at what turns out to be a blackjack table. The dealer is like, "Would you like me to deal you in, sir?"
Yeah, please.
Table for 3 seats, 2 seats.
Oh, I will play as well, and I just like dump my chips on the table. Is this enough to play? Am I able to sit here?
The dealer calls the pit boss over and like slowly stacks the freaking chips like into order for you and pushes them back towards you. Please keep the table clear, sir.
I do apologize. I'm so sorry. This is my first time in such a place, and I do not know the customs around here. And then I give the person who stacked my chips a chip as a tip.
Thank you very much, sir. Hits it, puts it in the chip drip tray.
What's the minimum bet here?
Minimum bet is $25. As your dealer says that, you look down and realize that all of your chips are $25 each. What a fucking surprise.
Oh, damn. I'm in 2. I put 2 down.
I feel like I've been overpaying the staff.
All right, so we're going to engage in a game of heads up blackjack, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do we do this? Over Discord.
It's very simple, don't worry.
Closest to 21 wins. Over 21 busts. Everyone puts in 25 minimum to start, and grab yourselves a D12 because that will be what we're using to play. Okay, so the dealer, as you sit down, is like, thank you for joining me. My name is Boy Baccarat. Baccarat's my specialty. Tonight I'm dealing blackjack. And as he says that, he like looks over at like MC Harley High Stakes, and Harley just sort of like Sixth Sense like looks over with like a momentary sour flash expression and then flips back to Happy, and Boy Baccarat sighs and is like, all right, $25 bets in, please.
Yeah, definitely put my bet in.
Yep.
Sure.
All right, so everyone's in for 25. Everyone roll a D12 for your first card and say it out loud, and everybody make sure you're keeping track of this, everyone else's cards.
9.
7.
12.
Okay, so the 10, 11, and 12 are all going to be worth 10 for this game.
Cool.
And now we're going to do our first round of betting. So, Riot, it starts on you. Minimum bet is 25.
I'll put 50.
Woo, okay. 50 to call.
Celestine definitely looks at Crater and is like, "What should I do? Is this good? Do I have a good card? Should I spend the money? Crater, what should I do?"
You'll be fine. Trust your gut.
I throw it in.
Yes, that is a fantastic strategy. Boy Baccarat says.
Yeah, and I'll call as well.
3 calls at $50. All right. And so we're all going to roll another D12, everybody. Second card.
6.
5.
It's a 1.
Okay, so a 1 in this case is an ace or an 11. So 1 or 11. It's totally up to you. But it's actually a really excellent card to get. Boy Baccarat is just like, the lady is sitting at 15. We have 13 in the middle seat and 10 or 20 in the anchor seat. Betting action is on you, madam. And he points to Riot.
I guess 25?
A minimum bet from the lady. 25 to call to you. And he points to Celestine.
I just immediately look at Crater. What?
I nod.
Throw it in.
And you to you, sir?
500.
Okay, so you're going all in. You don't have 500 left because that's what you started with. We'll just say that all of your 500 is in the pot now. And with that, you see Yeehaw like really turn around and start to like watch the hand and maybe even like walk up a little bit behind y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The yeehaw of awe.
This game is so fun. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay, Boy Baccarat is Boy Baccarat like puts his like fingers on his nose bridge and just sighs and is like, we have an all-in bet of 500. Madam, do you call?
No.
All right. Madam is folding the 15. An excellent call, madam. And you, sir?
Well, I mean, I've never played this game before, but I've seen Ma and Pa play bridge with their friends, and this seems to me to be one of those moments where you need to know when you're beat, and as Pa says, when you're beat, just chuck in the cards and cry. And so I think I will do that.
The philosophizing was very welcome, sir. Thank you. Excellent hand. And the pot goes to you, sir, and just pushes like the chips. Most of the chips are your 500, but you also receive, let's see,
275.
275 extra of your friend's chips.
Oh wow! This game is fun. We should keep playing this. Is Yeehaw looking like he wants to join at any point?
He's definitely like, he moved closer and he's standing behind the table. It almost looks like he's like waiting for you guys to like finish up your hand.
Okay. All right. So Boy Baccarat like pushes the chips towards you and is like, oh, and a very exciting hand. Shall we play another, my friends?
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in if you're in, buds.
This is fun. Let's, sure, of course.
Well, this looks like the most fun that I've seen in this entire party, so I think I'll be joining as well.
Well, it is mighty nice to see you again, Yeehaw.
And yourself.
Boy Baccarat, like, looks at Yeehaw, like, a little bit nervous, like, excellent, very good. 4 players for the next hand. Mr. McGraw, very nice to see you again. Shall we start off on a fresh foot from last time?
Are you addressing me?
Of course not, sir. Of course not. He's been getting a sharp look from Harley across the room, but he does look very sweaty.
Can I roll some sort of insight check to see like what the deal is between the dealer and Yeehaw?
Yeah, roll me an insight.
It's a 9.
Even with a 9, you recognize the look of a service industry employee who's just like not excited to see an overzealous patron.
All right.
Why don't you just settle down and deal them cards?
Yes, that is what I am being paid to do. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Yeehaw, they're just doing a job. There's no need for that kind of attitude. We're all here to have some fun. You know, let's play some cards.
And I assume that you're the caretaker of this young gentleman?
Oh, is that what he called me? Oh, that's selling it short. This is a very good friend of mine.
This is Mr. Yeehaw. This is the friend I was telling you about. This is Crater
Yes,
Wayne.
yes.
He is he's
Yes.
looking out for me.
Yes, that is my real name. Yes. Thank you, Celestine. Yes.
Well, what? Yeah, no, of course it is. Why I don't understand.
No, of course.
Yes, we all don't understand, says Boy Baccarat, and lays down the first card, so everybody roll, and
So we're all putting in 25 more?
yeah, 25 to start.
4 for me.
I also got a 4.
That's an 11, so I guess that's a 10.
Yeehaw got a 3.
Okay, first betting round starts with Riot.
50.
Bet of 50.
Oh, well, I mean, this 10 here is better than my 7 was the last time, and I paid 50 for that, so I think by that logic I should pay 50 for this, and so I shall.
All right, Mini Cowboy has called Crater. Which is your name?
Mini Cowboy.
You are the biggest cowboy to me, bud. Yeah, I'll call it 50.
And Mr. McGraw.
Well, I know that you feel a little uncomfortable when I get excited, so I'm just going to keep it at 50 for now.
Yes, I wouldn't say uncomfortable, sir, but I do appreciate it. And then we're going to deal the second cards. Everybody's called for 50. Everybody roll another d12.
4 for Celestine.
8 for Riot.
It's a 6 for Crater.
And Yeehaw got a 6 as well.
Okay. Riot's at 12. Celestine's at 14. Crater's at 10. And Yeehaw's at 9. All right, betting round starts with Riot.
Call 50.
$50 in the pot.
I mean, we're all having fun here. I don't want to spoil the party. Here we go, 50.
Yes, that is how gambling works. We have another call.
I'll do 50 as well.
Crater, I think the fella dealing the cards is making fun of me. Is that true?
Yeah, that's kind of standard around here too.
No, we're not.
All right. Well, as long as it's acceptable, I wouldn't want to feel out of place. But if everyone's being made fun of, then I suppose that's all right.
Nobody is being made fun of, and he looks very sweatily over at Harley before looking at Yeehaw.
200.
And we have a raise to 200. Thank you, Mr. McGraw. Riot, would you like to put another 150 in the pot?
Yeah, why not? I lean over the table alluringly at Yeehaw.
He looks at you with thirst.
God.
Oh, that's terrible. That is a terrible thing to say. And I hate
sorry.
that you said it. So, seeing Riot's display there, I think Celestine gets nervous and spills the drink that Yeehaw had bought him all over the table.
Oh.
just gets all flustered by Riot and knocks over his drink onto the chips into the cards. I am so very sorry. I suppose I'm out for this one. I do apologize.
Okay, the Mini Cowboy has folded, and he gestures for a deco drone to come over, and the deco drone flies over and starts beaming the liquid up while it's just
Wow, great outfit, great hand. You're gonna win big.
and then flies away.
Oh, I love that so much.
Crater, you gonna call that 150?
I'm gonna give Yeehaw an up and down look. All right, buds. You want to play big?
It's the only way.
I will raise it $25. Yeah.
Crater, are you sure? That is a bold move, Crater.
So Yeehaw has put in 150 more. Crater has raised it. Yeehaw, would you like to commit 25 more?
I mean, yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. All right.
I didn't know if you fall for that.
And Riot, 25 more?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Three-handed. Very good. And then we're going to all do the next D12 round. Or actually, sorry, at this point, you may choose whether or not to roll again. If you choose to not roll again and not take another card, you're committed. So, Riot, if you don't roll again, 12 is your number for the rest of the hand.
I will roll again, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to roll as well. Ooh, it's a 9.
Oof. I got a 2.
Yeehaw rolled an 11.
Oh my god. So Yeehaw is sitting at
20.
20. And betting is on you, Riot.
Damn. I don't really play blackjack. Like, where do we go from here?
You can ask Boy Bakra if you like.
Can I ask Boy Bakra?
Madam, I would recommend checking, not making any bet at this stage.
All right.
You could do that if you don't want to be any fun.
Mr. McGraw, please.
I got this. Don't worry
Please.
about it.
Please.
Miss, the name's Yeehaw McGraw. I come here for a little bit of fun, and you look like you might need a little infusion.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think I need some help.
You want my help?
You seem like a guy who knows what he's doing.
Madam, may I just point out that Mr. McGraw...
Boy, Bucker, just don't worry about it. I got this. Now, listen, miss. You got yourself not a bad hand. You could take another card if you're feeling dangerous.
Maybe I will.
Why don't you just slide a little bit of extra money in that pot and make it interesting?
I really must step in, Mr. McGraw. Madam, Mr. McGraw is sitting with a 20.
Are you challenging the word of this man who seems to know?
No, of course
yeah, that's
not.
right. I'm a man.
Oh, God. You know what? Do what you like.
I'm going to listen to you. Yeehaw, is it?
It is. And, sweetheart, listen, if things go a little sour for you here at this hand, don't worry. I can cover you for the rest of the night.
Such a gentleman. Okay, I will call 50, I guess.
All right, Boy Bakra is like freaking just like a bet of 50. Mr. Crater.
So, Mr. Baccarat, just so I understand, if I go over 21, I lose. Correct? It's one of these kind of games.
That is correct. You are not obligated to take another card, but you may call the bet without taking another card in the next round.
What say you, Yeehaw?
I will say that Yeehaw is beating you right now.
No, I do understand that. Mr. McGraw over there.
If you're going to ask me if I'm going to take away some of my numbers, I think you're sorely mistaken, mister.
No, I feel like let's try and make this interesting here. I will go all in again if you promise to take another card, and I will also take another card.
Make a persuasion check.
Holy shit.
Celestine is just looking back and forth here like it's a tennis match, and this is very complicated. I did not realize that cards could be so serious.
That's a 14.
I tell you what, son, I'm in a pretty nice position here right now, and I think that I am not going to take another card on top of my 20. But why don't you meet me right back here for another hand after this, and we could make it real interesting if you'd like to throw in a little extra. What I'm saying is, if that came across a little convoluted, I'm sorry, I've had like a lot of these really weird floral drinks. What I'm saying is, why don't you just have another hand with me after this, and I'll collect my winnings from you and this fine young lady here, and we'll make it interesting after this.
Boy Bakra is like, as much as I hate to disagree with Mr. McGraw, I would not recommend taking another card or committing any further money to this hand.
All right, Mr. McGraw. I think you won this round, right? Win me my money back, please. And I fold.
Yeehaw. Would you like to call 50?
I would.
Okay, so we're at the rolling for another card part. Miss Riot, would you like another card?
I would. Oh, damn it. I got 9.
Oh, it's a Bustaroony.
Bustaroon.
Oh, what a pity. And the pot gets pushed to Yeehaw. So Yeehaw gets a pot of
11.25.
11.25 for Yeehaw. As it is, Yeehaw has the hand, and y'all have sort of discussed having another one. And as you do, another voice sort of pipes up from behind the table and goes, well, Yeehaw, looks like we found ourselves at yet another exciting blackjack table. And you turn around, and your game has attracted the attention of a very humanoid cloud android whose eyes glow a warm amber. His body is made of a gray metal with like a purplish sheen as it catches the light, and these are, you recognize, sort of like specter robes. They have many elaborate details, some metal piping on the shoulder, and the fabric falls like straight down and obscures his arms within the folds as he like appears to glide along the floor towards the blackjack table. And he slides up and he goes, "I don't suppose there's a room at the table for an old specter?"
Well, I thought that you were never going to quit talking to that other table. Were you lecturing them?
Well, yes, I mean, of course. They were asking me questions about, my purpose, my journey. I'm always happy to speak with those curious about the Arcana. I remember us having such a conversation the last time we found ourselves at
Were
the
they
blackjack
asking
table.
you, or did you just hear someone say that in your ear?
Well, I hear many things in my ear, my friend, and I always answer, and that's all I will say about it. And who do we have here?
Celestine Wanderoff, pleased to meet you, and I just reach out my hand.
He reaches out and takes your hand and looks very deeply into your eyes as he shakes it and goes, "Do you hear that, my boy? Do you hear that?"
Do I hear what?
Never mind. And then he takes a seat next to you and he said, "Well, I believe I will join the next hand."
You're getting here just in time for some fun.
Yes, it was very nice to meet you. This is Celestine, and you, good sir?
This is my friend Crater Wayne.
It's Crater. Hi, yes. Nice to meet you, sir.
I am most enchanted by you, Mr. Crater, and the lady down at the end. Hello.
Hi, I'm Riot. And you?
Well, I'm surprised that none of you recognize me. And he just sort of waits.
Do we recognize him?
Everybody roll a history check.
13?
12.
13.
Okay, I would say that everybody like vaguely recognizes this voice from like over the pip. This is Uncle Edict, who is like a specter preacher, basically.
Unky. Sorry.
What is PIP exactly?
Ah, yes.
He sets up for the podcast?
The PIP is your, it's the portable sort of combination cell phone, television, social media device that everybody in this world has one. It's for shows, it's for social media, and Uncle Edict has a frequent sermon show on the PIP.
Is it like a popular show? Or is it like kind of just for like the old folks who are like at home during the daytime and they have nothing better to do?
It plays at the same time as Maury.
Okay.
Oh my.
Say no more. I know exactly what you mean.
I take my hat off. Oh my stars. I am so sorry, Uncle Edict, that I did not recognize you immediately. I now recognize you from all the programs that Mom and Pa used to play. I must say that it is an honor to be in the same room, let alone at the same table as yourself.
No matter. It's always nice to be around pupils. And those who are in want of saving. And he looks across the table at Iha.
You're beefing up his old head there. if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Well, beef is a most wholesome food, sir, and I accept your compliment. And Boy Bakra is like, shall we play a game of blackjack, friends?
Let's do it, folks.
Hell yeah.
All right. 25 in, everybody.
Yeah, 25 if you're feeling boring, but I think we ought to make this one interesting.
What do you say, 200?
What else you got?
I've got some mighty fine weed if you like, if that's your flavor.
Uncle Edict turns to you, Celestine, and is like, you say you brought some weed with you?
Well, yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, Mom and Pa grow the greatest cannabis in the Fifth Collide.
I'm going to put a hand on Celestine's shoulder and then just like shake my head.
I have no weed. I apologize.
Well, that is a real shame, because it has been exceptionally hard to sneak in libations this year. Not that I have ever done so, but I did notice that many a fewer people seem to be carrying, as the kids call it.
Yeah, so really hoping you got something interesting here because, well, I mean, I also heard that it was hard to get some stuff in, but, well, some of us just find a way, I suppose.
We do, don't we? Pointed look at Yeehaw. And Boy Bakara is like, very good. Yes, here we go. And deals the first cards. Everybody, oh, sorry, no shit, we didn't do the first betting round. So we're...
Oh boy, you are rusty, eh?
I mean, to be fair, this is not how actual blackjack works.
It's true.
All right, but we're meant to have a full betting round before we ever see a card. Is that the thing where like it's not just a straight up ante?
Yeah, everyone has to put like at least 25 in.
But there could be more. There's an opportunity to raise before we ever see a card, is what you're saying.
This is something I've thought about in advance, and the answer is no, you can only put in 25. This is not a betting round. This is the ante, which I definitely didn't decide just now. Okay, so everybody roll your d12 for your first cards and holler it.
10.
3.
I got a 12, which I think is a 10.
7 for Yeehaw.
Edict got a 5, which is a very good place to start for any hand. Betting round is on you, Riot.
I'll raise it 100.
It's 100 to call.
Well, I mean, I suppose I can only go up from here, so sure, here's my 100.
Yeah, that's an easy call.
Now, let's talk for a minute. So, Miss, sorry, did I get your name? I'm not sure.
I don't know that you did. It's Riot.
I thought so. I thought I recognized you from the pit machine. So,
You know me.
I mean, I've heard of you. Who hasn't? I'm pretty sure that everybody in this place is clocking the fact that you're here. But
This isn't the Riot, is it? Surely not.
Surely not.
why don't you take another look there, Edict?
Edict, like, turns a dial on the side of his eyes that, like, focuses his eyes. He's like, well, my goodness.
Now, I could put in another 100 chips and just play the game as Mr. Boy Baccarat would have us do, but I think
I would just absolutely love that if we could just do that.
I think that there's something a bit more, Riot, surely you're here for a little more, right?
You could say that. What did you have in mind?
Well, actually, I'm interested in what you had in mind. He reaches into a similar, likely a pouch around his leg, and he pulls out what looks like a small set of gears that's attached to, it's like a little metal curved piece, and he puts it on the table. Why don't you and Crater make a history check? Actually, Celestine as well.
13.
Plus 0, that's a 17.
15.
So, Crater, you would recognize, I don't think you would know exactly where it came from, but you and Riot would certainly recognize that this is a weapon mod. Celestine would as well with that check, but I don't think, Celestine, you've used many of these. But this is a weapon mod that you can add to your weapon with some good tinkering skills and make it, a little bit more interesting.
I think Crater's eyes turn green when he sees this item up on the table.
Oh my god.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, that is a fine piece of equipment you have. What are you looking for exactly for me in return?
What do you got?
I think you've heard what I got. I don't know if I can put it on the table.
What am I missing? I feel like I am out of the loop on this, my friends. What is everyone talking about?
Boy Baccarat is just chiming in like, I just want to remind everybody that I am only liable and responsible for the chips on the table. Anything happening outside of that, Riskotheque is not liable.
I whisper kind of just in a way that only the earpiece could be heard, and I say, don't worry about it. And then kind of lock eyes with Celestine and pat the pouch on my thigh.
Celestine just nods as though he understands.
Well, if I am not mistaken, betting round is up to me. And if I am aware of what is being discussed here, there is a bit of libations on the line here. And I don't really know what I have to offer except, oh, yes. And he freaking like reaches into his pocket and like takes out like a handful of interesting looking tokens. They're not poker chips and they're not gold. And he sort of like flashes one in his hand and like looks askance at Yeehaw and is just sort of like,
oh, now we're talking.
Yeah, could have used one of these last month, couldn't you? And anybody who wants to roll another history check for me can do so.
I got 6.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh, shit. So these tokens actually are like passage tokens, right? They allow passage like into and out of sort of like restricted zones.
Are they hard to come by, or are they expensive? Like what would I know about these tokens?
Yeah, they're not really like for purchase, really. They have to be like given to you. And while not rare, they're sort of hard to get your hands on. So yeah, they are a good addition to this pot.
These are also like Spectre made tokens, like they're for Spectres.
Yeah.
And I think with a nat 20, you would also understand that a restricted zone currently is Troponio Vega with how big of an event there is going on right now.
Okay, so a person would need one of these tokens to easily get out of Troponio Vega right now.
Well, one could assume that with an at 20.
It would make it a little easier.
Okay. That is a surprising cache of coins that you've got there. I'm shocked that you just carry that around.
Well, I don't know why you would be shocked if you know who I am.
I think you'll find plenty of things shock me.
Well, I certainly hope to shock you by the end of this hand. And I just want to make it clear, I do not have any interest in the unsavory items being offered. I'm merely here to remove them from circulation and to better the world.
Uh-huh.
Sure you
Does anybody else hear that? Does anybody hear that? Anyway, never mind. Yes, this is my contribution. And with that, we're going to take our second cards. Things are already spicy.
All right.
All right. 4.
Celestine got an 11, so 10 more for Celestine.
I rolled a 1.
Oh my god!
Crater just hit a blackjack. And freaking Edict's like, oh my goodness, you're joking me.
Sorry, is that good? Did I win?
Oh, is that good? Did you win? Edict got a 10, so he's at 15. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw got a 3, so he's at 10.
Now, normally in normal blackjack rolls, a 10 and an ace beats any other type of 21. Like, let's say no. You can still tie Crater for the purposes of good times.
Gotta try.
All right, so betting round, we got Riot 14, Celestine 13, Crater with a blackjack, Yeehaw with a 10, and Edict with a 15, and round is on Riot.
I'm going to put in everything. All my chips.
All in, and let's pretend that we count it and we know exactly how much it is.
Yeah.
Riot is all in.
Well, I must confess, I find this game incredibly confusing. But if I do understand the math correctly, it seems that Crater has the winning hand, so I will sit this one out.
Celestine is folded. Crater, Riot's all in with a 14. Would you like to call?
I am all in as well.
Crater's all in. All. Mr. Yeehaw.
Well, that is very interesting, and I am...
Well, surely you're not going to back out of this hand now. You're sitting with a 10. I thought you were the ballsiest gambler this side of the Jaggedy Jacks.
Uncle Edict, that is some colorful language that I did not expect to hear from you.
I have the balls I have the biggest balls on this side of the Jaggedy Jacks. You are correct, Edict. I'm just trying to figure out what an appropriate addition to this table is.
And you can see that Boy Baccarat is just sort of like looking across the room at MC Harley High Stakes, just like shaking his head and like lifting his hands, like mouthing like, I don't know.
Well, if it's chips you're after, then no problem. I can match you. Unless you got anything else that's interesting. Mr. Wayne? Oh, are you talking to Edict? Anybody. I just want to know who's got something interesting. We can keep playing for money if you want, but I'm afraid I put my most interesting items into the pot already, although money is going in, fine, whatever. All right, Yeehaw is calling. And Edict looks at Yeehaw and is just like, Mr. McGraw, I think I will be the better and more holy man. And he folds. All right, so we got 3 all in, so now we're just either taking cards or folding. Riot?
I'm going to go with another card. Fuck it. 3.
Okay, you're sitting at a 17.
And I'm going to pull an ace from this here deck. I pulled 2 aces in the form of an 11, so...
Well, Crater's sitting at 20. This is getting sweaty. We're all in, so we're just right back around to Riot.
Fuck it. And I got an 8, so.
All right. A valiant effort for Riot to hit that 21. All right, Yeehaw, there is one card that will save you, my friend.
I'm going to pull an ace from this deck. Whoops. Dropped an ace on the floor. Let me try again right into my dice box. That's on top of my desk. I rolled a 9.
And
well, shit.
What a shame.
Oh my god, I did roll a 1 on the floor.
I'm sorry, Mr. McGraw, but floor cards do not count as we discussed last year.
Damn it, boy Baccarat. You gotta give me one of these days.
Mr. McGraw, you know I have no control over what happens at this table. We also talked about this last year. Congratulations, Mr. Wayne. And he pushes, like, everything. The freaking treat from Yeehaw, the token from Edict, and just a massive pile of coins that I'm assuming Jay kept track of.
Yeah, I did. It's 400 plus all the all-ins. So
sweet. So y'all have, let's just call it
1900.
1900.
I lean over to Crater and just go, oh my stars, Crater, you are so wealthy. My goodness, I don't even think we need to do what came here to do tonight. We can just take this and go, can't we? I mean, we don't need to take anything. We just want it all.
Are you saying that out loud?
Like, very quietly.
Make a stealth check.
Well, I'm helping because I put like my arm up on the table to like shield our conversation a little bit.
Sure. Make a stealth check with advantage.
I do appreciate the advantage there. It was a 5, and now it's a dirty 20.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, yeah. We are looking pretty rich at the moment, but I don't think it's really enough to really jump ship. I think what we have waiting for is probably a little bit more money than what's currently in our hands.
More money? Oh my stars. Well, I mean, all right. Well, if you say so, Crater. If you know best. I'm with you, buddy.
All right. And I clap my hands and I disrupt the huddle and I'm back at attention at the table.
All right. Well, as you're back at attention to the table, you notice that Boy Baccarat and most other people are looking towards the center of the room because MC Hardly High Stakes has kind of like levered herself up a little bit and is now addressing the room. Thank you for coming, everybody. It is so marvelous to see all these familiar faces here at Riskotheque Casino. I hope you've all been enjoying yourselves this evening and not getting into too much trouble. But if I may...
Sorry, that was amazing.
But if I may interrupt your pretty festivities, I would like to announce the spinning of the wheel of fortune will take place in the next 5 minutes. If you would all like to proceed towards the viewing area. And then she sort of like does a very elegant scoot off on her unicycle wheel to go talk to important people and make her way up to the front where indeed everybody is sort of like moving towards the wheel.
Well, folks, I think that's our cue to leave.
/ go talk to Harley High Stakes before she gets up on stage. But I think I can do it pretty quickly.
Or just maybe get up and go for a washroom break.
That's right.
Right?
I don't know.
This is all very exciting.
Okay, gentlemen, it was a pleasure to meet you. Hopefully we'll see you around town sometime soon.
As you turn around, you notice that Uncle Edict is like already gone.
Oh, okay.
It was a pleasure to meet you in person, Uncle Edict.
As you say, pleasure to meet you in person, from actually like immediately behind you, he's just like, well, it was a pleasure to meet you too, my friend.
Oh my stars! You just appeared there. My goodness, I was looking in the entire wrong direction. Oh my.
Well, I tend to come wherever I am needed, and at that moment, I felt I was needed by you. And in fact, my boy. He just like gives a look at Crater real quick. And he's like, my boy, would you mind, could we have a word privately for 1 minute?
Privately? Well, I mean, I suppose anything you can say to me, you can say in front of my friend Crater here.
Well, no, that's not always the case. And I am a man of God, and I think that you should come with gods. And I think that you should come with me, just for a moment.
All right. So are we, before I decide whether or not to go off with him here, is Riot gonna go track down the MC now? Is that like what's happening?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, yeah, I suppose I'll go with Uncle Edict. All right. Well, if it's just a quick word, I suppose.
Okay, so Uncle Edict, as everybody's sort of milling towards the wheel, Uncle Edict leads you in somewhat of the opposite direction. Just sort of leads you in front of this like one of the massive like slot machines. So there's lots of lights and colors surrounding you. It's somewhat private. And he just leans in and he says, "Whatever you're here for is of far more importance than you or I understand, my boy. And I'm not sure what this feeling means, but I do know that whoever is asking you to do what you came here to do is not to be trusted, and you should come to me after you've completed your task."
Ooh. Well, Uncle Edict, I believe you're trying to give me some sagely advice, and I do appreciate the thought, but the implication of your words would suggest that I'm not to trust a friend of mine, and I'm afraid I can't just jump to that conclusion.
The messages from the Arcana are rarely so clear. In fact, if you listen, you can hear the most unexpected things. And right now, I'm hearing... Can you hear it? Can you hear the... bum, 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 bum?
Bum, bum, bum. No, I'm afraid I don't hear a bum.
Well, surely you must. Well, I can hear it. And on top of that, I'm hearing a message about you. And the message is that you need me and that you need to come to me.
Well, Uncle Edict, actually, can I roll an insight check?
Hell yeah.
Not that Celestine's particularly insightful. Yeah, it's a 12.
It's a 12. Okay. I mean, he seems to be very certain that the message he is receiving is correct. And yeah, that's what I'll say. But he also, you notice that he also does, you're starting, as you get closer and he's starting to talk about these sorts of things, he's a little bit erratic and maybe even a slight bit twitchy.
Well, Uncle Edict, again, do appreciate your concern and consideration for one such as myself, and I will give your words some serious thought. But now I must return to my friends, so I bid you a good evening, sir.
Do as you will, my son.
And he sort of just like stands under the slot machine and watches you go.
All right, Celestine is deeply troubled.
As you sort of break away from Uncle Edict, everyone else is like crowding around the Wheel of Fortune, and actually roll me a history check.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
That's a nat 20.
Another
okay.
one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as you look up at the wheel, having had this conversation with Edict, your guard is kind of down and you're a little bit like unsettled, and you look up and you just sort of catch a sight of the wheel and you feel as though there's something you remember about it. And it comes to you all at once that the wheel is the only relic that exists that is pre-oops. So this thing is like ancient, and that's sort of like a piece of knowledge that like you recall as you look at the wheel.
Okay. So I think immediately I would try and go find Crater. I think I would head back toward wherever Crater and Riot are, just for the record.
Let's do that then. So you head back to Crater. What do you say?
Crater, I had a very odd conversation with Uncle Edict there, and it seems like he knows something about what we're here to do, and he told me that I shouldn't trust the person who brought me here, but of course you're the person that brought me here, and I mean, as you know, I trust you with my life, and so I'm just very, I'm having a confusing moment here, and I'm not sure what to do about it. Uncle Edict feels like I should come to him when all this is said and done, and I suppose that would mean not leaving with you, but it doesn't feel right.
No, I will have you know that I've never crossed anybody that's been on my side before in my entire life, and I don't know. Are we gonna believe some celebrity? Like the man loses his entire wealth to us in a blackjack game, and now is all of a sudden trying to get in on the action? I wouldn't pay too much mind to that.
I suppose there's some sense in that. Is there anything else about this whole business I should know? Anything you haven't told me yet?
No, I don't think so.
I knew it. Thank you so much, Crater. You made me feel so much better.
I'll just put a hand on his shoulder and give him a good nod, and then turn to watch Riot.
All right.
Okay. So Riot is making her way towards the MC, yes?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Okay, so as you do, you're suddenly sort of like a hand reaches out from the crowd, and an older human woman who looks to be about mid-80s, dark skin, tall and very long-legged with long black hair. She's wearing an elaborate silk red robe that hangs open in layers of drapery, revealing a short matching silk negligee.
Oh my.
Well, well, well. They do say that it's not a party unless Riot crashes it.
You know what they say.
Riot. Sweetheart, of course you remember me. Mesmera?
Mesmera. So good to see all of you.
Likewise. It's okay. It's been several parties since we've last interacted, but I'm so relieved that you're here. I mean, I was kind of hoping that someone might bring some excitement, and I know what you're known for.
I do deal in excitement. I don't know if tonight's my night, though, you know? I don't want to detract from the importance of the occasion.
Make a deception check.
All right. All right, I got a 19 plus 2, 21.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just to understand that you're here to just party.
That's right. I'm in the process of incarnating some chaos in the upcoming events to follow. But tonight, you know, just riding under the radar, enjoying the events, looking at your beautiful face.
Well, I can't say I'm not disappointed, but I guess I'll also tell you that I'm in Troponia for a little bit if you'd like to get together, if you need anything. And I mean, if you're not planning anything for this get together, you know you're always welcome at my parties. Surely you have something planned for some event coming up, and I would love to be the host.
That would be unbelievable. I'd be over the moon. Tonight, I do feel like I'm otherwise engaged, but I'm yours next time I have.
Is that a promise?
You know it is.
All right, Riot, roll me a history check.
All right. 21.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, you for sure have been around Mesmera. In fact, you know that the Hot and Heavy family, which Mesmera is the current matriarch of, is known for being these ultra famous legacy family in the royals. They're all of them smoking hot. They're devotees of the Empress, and they tend to throw amazing events. So this is a super fun offer from Mesmera for sure.
Amazing. Do I think that she would appreciate a small libation?
Oh, for sure she would. You know Mesmera is down for a good time.
Okay, cool. So I reach down to my bare skin of the thigh and to my pack and unlatch the side to grab a very small package in my hand, and I grab her hand with both of mine and slip it into her palm and close her hand around it and say, for you, for your night, think of me.
Oh, I wish I had something in return, but I do appreciate this. I'm so glad that you brought a little bit of fun with you.
Every time.
Did I notice that from afar? I'm assuming perception.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Ooh, that's pretty good. What's a new character? Don't know my stats off by heart. -1. It's a 15.
Yeah, I would say with a 15 that from the corner of your eye, you notice that Riot is stopped. And so that catches your attention. And you do see that she's had an exchange with this person.
Noted. Thank you.
Okay, so I think I continue on towards the MC at this point.
Okay, you're just going straight up all upon her?
I suppose, yeah. Assuming I can get to her before she gets on stage.
Yeah, are you trying to be sneaky, or are you trying just running up hey?
I think I want to come up with, I know she's going to know who I am, so I just go up to be you look gorgeous kind of thing. I want her to notice me.
All right, so as you come up, she's sort of making a beeline for the platform. People are gathering, and she sort of sees you coming and does a double take, and you see her flip face is very focused, and as soon as she sees you, it turns to the widest smile possible, and she's well, oh my goodness, what a marvelous delight it is to see you here tonight.
Harley High Stakes, you look fetching.
You know, I do pride myself on knowing all the gossip, and yet I had no idea that you were in Troponia Vega.
Well, I'm kind of everywhere.
That is what they say. Well, you also look marvelous, although it would be quite a shock if you didn't.
You're too kind. This is an extraordinary event. You really outdone yourself with this one.
Oh, thank you, kind. Oh, sorry, 1 second. And she just turns and just glares randomly at a floor supervisor who just freezes and remembers something and goes fucking running back away. And she's just sorry about that.
I just wanted to thank you for your hospitality and to, wish you luck. This is a big, big day. Spinning of the wheel.
The biggest, darling.
Well, so good to see you.
It's marvelous to see you too. And don't forget, when you post about this on Pip, be sure to give a little shout out to Harley.
You know I will. Can I use a sleight of hand to try to get the card from her as I leave?
Yes, you can.
All right.
Sky, I'll have you know like this whole heist comes down to you at this very moment. If you roll a nat 1 here, you have killed all of our characters in the first episode.
Jesus.
Now that this is a conversation between Riot and the actual target here, are we just hanging back, me and Crater, or is there something that were we meant to help in some sort of way? Because it was one thing when she was talking to somebody that we didn't know, right? But now we know she's talking to the MC, and so this is presumably the move. We're just still at a distance?
I think if you guys stay to the north side so that it's close to where we need to be, we need to kind of like split pretty quickly before she notices. So that would probably be good.
I think as I kind of see Riot starting to like say goodbye, I might notice like a waiter behind me that's holding like a tray of champagne or something like that. I might like back into him, quote unquote, on accident to create a big noise.
You're perfect.
Try and maybe help out with this.
This is great.
Give me some kind of roll for that. Give me like a
Performance
roll. Yeah.
Can I help? Can I give him the help action? I'll make a scene with him.
Sure. You can give the help action to give the help action.
Oh boy, I rolled double 13s, so it's a 14.
Okay. With a 14, there is a moment where Harley High Stakes like gives one of her sharp like face expression flips over in your direction.
And in that moment, Riot, roll your sleight of hand with advantage.
All right. I got the same each time, which was
Oh God.
24.
Oh.
God, I love rogues so much.
Oh man, I was sweating.
Just barely do you get this key card.
I think also as you go to get it, Mesmera kind of like wanders up near Harley, and she like looks at Harley and she's like, "Don't you know who this is?" And she gives you like a little moment to grab what you're trying to get.
Mesmera. Amazing. Okay, well, I'll be like, all right, well, toodaloo, gotta go. Won't keep you from the stage. So good to see you.
Well, thank you so much for coming to pay your respects, darling. And do keep your fingers crossed for your favorite archetype when we spin the wheel.
You know I will.
Good night, darling. Good night, darling. Miss Mara. Mwah, 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 mwah.
And there's like a quadruple cheek kiss situation going on.
Amazing.
I think like Crater is like over top of this waiter, like, oh my God, but I'm so sorry. Here, I'll start like scooping up some glass and putting it back on the tray.
Celestine is like trying to help like clean the champagne off of the waiter's outfit, is just like with his sleeve, just like, oh, we're gonna get that out, don't you worry.
Boy Baccarat has been pulled from the blackjack table after that frickin' fiasco and is now serving drinks which you've poured all over him.
Oh, Mr. Boy. Oh, I'm so sorry for the trouble. Here's 750 coins.
Gentlemen, oh God, thank you. This will buy me many new uniforms.
Do you ever feel like you just want to get away? You know, leave this life behind you, find what else is out there past the horizon, find a new life for yourself?
He puts a hand on your shoulder and leans in. He's just like, take me with you.
Whoa. Yeah, I kind of recoil a little bit from that.
Oh God.
As you all deal with the downed Boy Baccarat and spilled drinks everywhere, and for Riot, a key card in hand, you start to head to the north side of the room, which is easy at this point because the crowd is currently aflutter as Harley High Stakes steps onto a circular disc platform that begins to move, lifting her up to the wheel's lever. When she arrives, she raises her hand with a flourish, and after a dramatic pause, pulls the lever down with a practiced snap, sending the wheel and the crowd into a spinning frenzy. The partygoers cheer and shout encouragement to the wheel, entreating it to land on their particular favorite arcana, or pleading for it to avoid the likes of the tower or the devil. After a minute or so, the wheel begins to slow. It clicks past the star, and then the moon. And a hopeful gasp as it appears to pause on the sun, but no, past the sun. And the crowd very suddenly falls silent as, will it? Yes, it is. The hand slides past judgment, and for the very first time in recorded history, lands firmly on the world. Everyone is motionless, The normally imperturbable Harley falters for a moment, takes a breath to speak, and what sounds like an explosion. Distant, but alarmingly significant enough to cause a tremor and a flickering of the lights. Then, all is still. With a couple of sharp, meaningful looks, Harley sends 3 floor supervisors scampering into action, her orders silently understood. The next moment, she is all smiles and addresses the crowd.
Oh, well, what a marvelous excitement. Surely just some overzealous scrapper party going on in the background here, but my goodness, a landmark spinning of the wheel. And if you'll excuse me, I have a couple of things to attend to.
And she levers herself down and goes zooming across the floor as everybody sort of like calms down and begins to talk excitedly amongst themselves about the wheel landing on the world.
having acquired the most important item, being the key card, and acquiring a couple extra items which are, well, may prove to be useful down the line, you start to make your way to the north chamber while everyone is sort of in shock at what just transpired in the room before. As you approach, you see a door that has like a key card slot on the side. Make a perception check for me, everybody.
That'll be a nat 1 from Celestine.
I got 7.
I also got a nat 1, so that's a 0 for Crater.
Shit.
Okay. Well, Riot, you notice that there's one guard standing in front of this door, and he's kind of like looking at what's going on with like the wheel and everyone standing there too.
Okay. I'm just gonna talk to the two with the earpiece. What do we want to do about this guard?
Well, I don't know. Do you think you can talk your way through it?
I bet I could.
Okay.
Celestine will reach over and give Riot a little pat on the shoulder and say, good luck, team, is Riot. You got this. And I'll cast guidance on Riot. So in the next minute, you can add a D4 to an ability check.
Amazing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go up to this guard and I'll be like, hey there.
Greetings.
What's a dashing young bot like you doing on, guard duty where the action isn't?
I am unable to dash from this location.
Oh, even when Harley High Stakes called for you specifically?
I
roll a persuasion.
You can add a D4 to that.
Oh, sick. Right. Okay. So that is 18.
The guard looks very panicked towards Harley, looks back at you and looks like really extremely nervous that they have fucked something up, and wheels on over towards Harley's direction.
Dash permissions activated.
All right, we're going to go in there real fast using the key card.
God damn right. You're a fucking natural at this.
That was a joy to watch, Ms. Riot.
Thanks, boys.
You swipe the key card and all slip into this next room. So as you enter this room, it's just as lavish as the last, but markedly less occupied. Everyone's still outside. You see a few things on display. There's like some nice art pieces lining the walls, a few of those like museum pedestals that have like the glass over them. And it just looks like old fine pieces of art. And there's a set of stairs leading up on either side of this room that lead to the back chamber, where you see on the right-hand side, there is another door that leads into what you assume and what you've known from studying the map before is the main item room. However, you're just in the display room right now. And at the back of the room, you notice that there is a bot that is just sort of patrolling back and forth. It's like person-sized-ish, but it's sort of shaped like a starfish. It's got 5 limbs that are kind of like twirling around as it's sort of like floating back and forth. And it's just sort of like marching back and forth, keeping watch. And as you've entered, it doesn't seem to have noticed you yet.
Okay.
Is there like a little crevice inside this door for us to hide real quick so it doesn't notice us?
Yeah, well, you'll notice that like when you enter this room, you have to go up a set of stairs to get to this display area. So you're kind of like almost looking up the stairs, and you can see this this bot sort of walking back and forth at the back there. But it's like your eyes are just poking up over the top of the banister.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to be completely honest here. I am not one to sneak through something like this. I'm more of a hit and run kind of guy. So I don't really know what you two want to do for this situation.
I mean, I could take a shot at stealth, and then as soon as it proves to not, if it goes awry, you can just kind of go in guns blazing. Or we could just all go in guns blazing.
My preference would be to cause as little damage and destruction as possible. I mean, Crater, I no offense, but perhaps we'd have a better chance of getting out of here in one piece if we at least try to do it Ms. Riot's way the first time.
No offense taken whatsoever. I do think that's a great idea, Celestine. Right? I feel like we are leaning on you quite a bit for this, but
all right.
I think it's your turn to go again.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, how are you proceeding? Are you going to try to just get by the bot entirely, or are you going to try to like sneak up to the bot and then do some stuff? You will also notice that this is this is a 5-limbed bot, which you assume to be the pentadrone, that you understand has a number of interesting abilities attached to each of his arms, and the ones that you know about are the noisy alarm and something else.
The ability to call smaller non-sentient bots to its
Hey,
aid.
yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That sounds troubling for us heroes.
Very troubling. So I think what I kind of want to do is sneak up to it. So with this like pentadrone situation, it kind of looks like an octopus type thing, and I wonder if I have the knowledge to know that it's kind of like an octopus and that it has that like mouth thing where its butt should be, you know what I mean?
The beak?
The beak, yeah. I feel like
I'm really looking forward to seeing where this line of questioning is going.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the soft spot where that's where I want to kind of like sneak up and get to explode the thing before anything happens.
Let's do an Arcana check to check for butthole.
Can I roll to see if this thing has a mouth anus?
I'm sure this thing is built just like the Death Star, where there's like one little point that will just destroy it in one shot, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, got a nat 1. Ooh,
Uh-oh.
no butthole for me.
No buttholes to be found. You do notice that like with it spinning, each arm does seem to have like a different, like a flashing gem in it. So you can tell that all of the arms are active and they have their abilities. But with a nat 1, you're not sure where the butthole is and you're not sure what the abilities are, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's all butthole.
It's
right.
only butthole.
All right. Well, I'm just going to go in without any knowledge and kind of understanding that the body probably has a lot of the control of the entire entity. So I'm going to just make a go at causing damage to its center.
Okay, sweet. So you're going to go up and like attack it?
Yeah, but like sneakily.
I gotcha.
So like I think as like Riot is running towards this thing, I'm definitely going to creep my way up these stairs just to get to like the top so I can make sure that I have an eye on her at all times.
Okay. And Celestine, what are you doing as this happens?
I think Celestine will, just sort of follow. Maybe I'll head to the other side from where Crater is to sort of just to be eyes on the other side, but to not get so close as to mess up Riot's plan.
Okay. All right. Let's have all of you roll stealth checks.
Okay.
Can we say that before this, I gave guidance to Crater because I'm imagining Crater's not the stealthiest fella.
Sure.
Thank you. Oh my god, Crater rolled a nat 20.
Yes.
You did not need my guidance, of course. 14 for Celestine.
17.
Okay.
Shit.
So for perception, this thing has a high perception, but I only rolled an 11. So all three of you just start your approach, and Riot, you take off just in a run, just silent enough so it's not going to hear you. And then what are you attacking it with?
I think my literal firearm needs to make an appearance.
It will make noise. Are you okay with that?
Right. You know what? Maybe I can get close enough to it that I can just use a dagger. That's what I'll do.
Okay, well, no problem. You can get close enough to use a dagger. You run up and stick it right into this thing's exterior shell. It spins around and it goes like beep, bork. I'm gonna need all of you fuckos to roll initiative.
I wish we weren't like 100 feet away from this thing.
Yep.
Roll and weep.
And wish.
Oh, rough. That's a 4 for Celestine.
15 for Riot.
It's a 17.
So at the very first thing that happens, Riot, roll an attack with advantage with your dagger since you snuck up.
Okay. All right, so 13.
Just hits, and then roll your damage.
Okay.
And you can roll sneak attack damage on that.
Okay, sweet. So that is 7.
Okay, you lay into this thing. It turns to you. It knows that you're here now. And with that, we will move along to Crater Wayne. You're up.
Okay. I am still 75 feet away from this guy, so there's not much I can really do on this turn. I think my first question is, after that dagger hit, how is this thing looking?
Looks okay so far.
It looks okay. So
Perturbed.
what I think I'm going to do, because we obviously have got its attention now, I'm going to use my full 40 feet of movement, and then as my action, I will dash just to get all the way up here.
I just love this idea that you're just crashing through this room here, just like the idea of Crater Wayne dashing and like how you've described him, this big sort of like boilery with a milk crate head, like just running would be deeply frightening and is probably like shaking the paintings off the walls.
Yeah, totally. Like all these display cases that are lining this long corridor, like there might be a crack in one or two of those glasses, and like so like these paintings are rattling off the wall, and like I'm leaving divots in this very nice woven carpet that I'm assuming is on this ground. But yeah, so I'll get right up to this guy so that both Riot and I are kind of just in tango with him. I'm going to be flanking him just for her, and I am just going to go stiff for a moment, and my eyes are going to turn red, and I am going to rage.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh dear, I was afraid this would happen.
Rage daddy.
Don't you fucking touch her, bud.
My heart.
The angriest Canadian I ever heard.
Is that your turn?
That's it for Crater.
All right. Riot, you get another turn immediately.
Oh, sick. Okay. I mean, I think maybe I'll just lay in again with the noiseless daggers. Wait.
After Crater went like...
You know what? You're right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get my
fair
gun
enough.
arm out. It's time.
Sweet.
I will point out to the DMs that I was trying to give Riot advantage by flanking this guy.
I understand.
Very sick. I very much appreciate that.
So with a ranged weapon, you'll have to take a step back.
Okay.
But he'll get the opportunity to attack you as you move away. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. He rolls a 11 to hit. Does that hit you?
Let's see.
What's your armor class?
There we go. 14.
You're good. He misses.
Wow.
So you see him like spin his body trying to hit you, and you run away.
All right. It's my turn now?
You're up. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So this is, I'm gonna get that friggin' double barrel pistol out, and also do sneak attack. So this is 2d8 piercing.
Roll to hit first.
Oh,
and
yeah,
see if
right,
you
right.
Land
Sorry.
that hit.
Okay, 19.
Yep.
Sick. All right, we got 2, 3, it's 5, and 6. So 11.
All right.
And then plus your...
Oh, Jesus. Dexterity? Yeah, so 14.
Fuck yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, yeah, you watch Riot like run up and do a little dagger entry in it, and it doesn't look like that much damage, but as she runs back and like takes another shot right into that hole that she just made, it just blasts into this thing. All right. That is the Pentadrone's turn. At the top of its turn, we get to see which one of its arms becomes active.
Oh shit.
B, do you want to roll this?
Hell yeah. I always pick the wrong D when I go for the D10.
Oh, sick burn
what
on
they
people.
say.
I was just gonna say, I just see myself out. Woo.
You're second best D.
Dear diary.
We got a sexy 8 on this one. Basically, this thing has just gotten a couple of like little fuck up hits on it. It's mad. It's like,
This area is restricted.
and it freaking shoots out a goddamn net at am I supposed to target someone specific?
Right, it's just out of range. So there's only one person.
Oh, no.
Please restrain yourselves.
And it's gonna throw a net at you, Crater.
Would you classify this as a trap?
No.
No.
Damn. Okay.
I got a 12.
That is my armor class.
Oh dear. Okay, well you're restrained.
That's okay. It's like a hug from a good friend.
We are friends. Please restrain yourselves with this hug.
Wesley.
Thank you.
That is just its funky arms turn. So now with its actual turn, it's going to attack Crater with 2 of its arms.
Okay.
Here come those hits, baby. And since you are restrained, it has advantage.
Cool. Love that for me.
Wow. I don't know why I'm rolling here, B. I rolled an 11, which I think just hits on advantage.
No, it's my armor class is 12.
Oh my god. Just rolled 2 2s with advantage. I don't know why I rolled.
I'm rolling the
Yeah,
next
you're
ones.
rolling all of them. Okay.
It just like freaking flails. It like nets you. So you run up to it. You're like, don't you lay your hands on it. And then it just immediately fucking nets you. And then tries to smash you, but it like accidentally smashes 2 paintings behind you instead. And then it's like,
You destroyed those paintings. Unforgivable.
Celestine, you're up.
Okay. How is this thing looking after all of Riot's damage? How's it looking?
It's still okay.
perturbed.
Yeah.
All right, let's move a little bit. I'm a slow boy. I've only got 25
Oh,
feet.
dear.
Oh.
And how close does that get?
You're 50 feet away from it.
All right. I am going to. So
I love that. Giggle.
Celestine. What's that?
So as I say, like, whenever you giggle, I get very, very excited.
All right, so Celestine, is looking at this, sees Crater, netted up, and this thing is taking swings at him, and Celestine is like gonna jump into action here to help Crater, and so he touches that little metal disc on his belt buckle, just sort of like puts his hands on his belt buckle, and it shoots out this like this kind of like star sort of projection, this like holographic projection in front of him, and Celestine starts to glow with this like blue light at his joints, kind of like it's like little points of light, kind of like a constellation where his joints are. And I'm going to use a bonus action to wild shape into my chariot constellation form. This is a flavoring for this campaign of the archer form for the stars druid. When I change into this form, I get to make a ranged spell attack with my bonus action, and every bonus action thereafter if I choose. So ranged spell attack at this thing.
Hell yeah.
15 to hit.
15 hits.
Okay, that's 9 damage. Ooh. So when he does this, the ranged spell attack, when he sort of goes constellation form like this, the empty gun holster, there's just this like pistol made of light, kind of again like a constellation just outlined that appears in his holster, and he just draws from his holster and fires at this thing with his little like pistol of light. And then with my action, I'm going to create a bonfire over.
What?
I'm going to create a bonfire.
Please explain.
Right on top of the on top of the drone. So it's got to make a dexterity saving throw.
What the fuck? Okay, B, you roll this. You roll this.
Okay. All right. I crit failed.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, no.
That's just two extra fire damage.
Wow.
Bonfire on top of this.
Yeah.
Is it like a bunch of logs fall on top of him too?
I imagine it's just like the carpet there, just sort of like it just kind of like crunches up. Celestine just sort of like reaches out a hand and just sort of points at it, and it's just like the carpet sort of gathers up underneath him and just kind of ignites in this little what looks really like a very cozy campfire.
Amazing.
Like underneath it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to stay there when it enters that space, or when it begins its turn in that space. We'll have to do another dex saving.
Amazing. Okay.
Illegal heat levels detected.
Crater, you're up.
With a net around his waist, he's just going to turn and look at Celestine with a smirk, and just give like an approving nod of that turn that he just had.
Oh yeah, Celestine has a little shiver of approval.
Sorry, and this net. Now, remind me of D&D rules. Am I still able to make an attack, melee attack, while I'm restrained?
You can attack, but you have disadvantage.
Okay, and it'll take my action to get out of this, though.
Correct.
Fuck it. I'm going to make this a reckless attack.
Oh, hell yeah.
I would get advantage on this, but I have disadvantage, so that cancels out. So it's going to make a normal attack. Yeah, so as I'm like tied up in this net, I'm going to reach onto my back and just unsling this giant, larger than life great axe that I've been carrying around that no one's made a comment about yet, surprisingly.
I'm sling.
Can the axe's name be Schling?
Oh my god.
That was a nat 20.
Wait.
Oh my god.
Plus 2 plus 2, so it's 19 damage to him.
my god.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Holy shit.
It looks bad.
Illegal, illegal fire and pain.
Is that your turn?
I feel like that's enough for me, yeah.
Okay, Riot, you're up.
All right. I think I've got another shot
Fuck 'em up,
in
Riot.
this thing that I might as well use. All right. So I'm going to roll to hit. That's a 15.
15 hits.
Okay, sweet. Then that is 11.
Riot, please describe how you put this thing to bed. I don't know.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying out.
Beautiful. Put it to bed.
Oh my god. I'm like down on the ground here and just like aiming for the spot where maybe I thought there would be a weak spot underneath it in between all 5 of its legs. And I shoot so that it kind of like erupts the bottom of it and it zooms into the air and it falls to the ground with each of its limbs falling separately from its body.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my
It
god.
is asleep.
As it dies, it's like,
I never learned to dance.
Oh no. No, I hate
I feel
that.
bad.
Take that back.
Oh dear, I didn't realize this one was sentient. Now I feel like a murderer.
Oh dear.
We can rebuild it.
I think we must.
to be perfectly explicit, it was not sentient, but it did want to learn how to dance.
Robots need love too.
I'm having trouble distinguishing the difference at this point now. It had wants and needs. It wanted to experience the joy of dance, and we took that from it.
Sure did.
You down the security bot. Everyone make a perception check.
This went so well last time.
Yeah, like how much noise did we just make there?
You made a lot of noise.
Shit.
Ugh. 11 on perception.
10.
It was a 9.
Okay, I think Celestine, you're near the back of the room and you can hear some like muffled voices on the other side of the door. They sound like questioning, but you can't quite make out any words. On the other side of the door behind you, from where you came in from the event room, I should say.
All right, folks. I don't think that we've necessarily alerted them to our little trouble here, but perhaps we should move on before we do.
All right.
Yeah, maybe we should hide this body here, eh?
Yeah. Hide it behind one of the displays.
While they're hiding the body, Celestine is going to go over to a couple of the cases and cast mending on them after Crater came and cracked the glass. I'm just going to go by and cast mending.
What a good lad.
So I do see that there's some in this beautiful map that we have. There's some plants and pots around the corners here. Can we just like stuff this dude like head first into one of these pots so that his legs sticking up kind of blend in with like the leaves that are coming off of this?
So the arms are gonna blend in.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
camouflage.
For sure.
Sure, why not? Oh, yeah, you do so.
All right. Enter the chamber.
Right, after you.
Here we go.
You enter the main room chamber. This is a little bit smaller than the display room that you were just in, just as ornate and just as exquisite as every room that you've been in Riskotheque. This one at the very end has on a pedestal, you see your quarry. You see the small item that you are here to retrieve. Along the side of this room, you do see a few boxes that are sort of piled up. One might assume that they are other auction items. And of course, at the end of this room, you see a very large window that looks out over Troponio-Vega. You're pretty high up. The window does look breakable, as your intel suggested to you, but you don't seem to be in any immediate danger of being caught. So you're sort of in this room with like a moment to breathe.
Sorry, Riot. Do you happen to remember if we have another escape route out of here, or are we walking back out that door like we're full of confidence?
I mean, ideally, we would just walk out and take the elevator down to the vehicle. But
Okay.
this window could work also if we wanted to do that.
Well, we have a fun route and we have a safe route.
Yeah.
Right.
And how safe is safe?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Ma always used to say, don't go jumping out windows unless you tried at least one other thing first.
Your ma is wisdom incarnate.
She is a delight, and I thank you for saying that.
Celestine, I've never met your mother before, but she sounds like she's a pretty wise lady. You're lucky.
I am at that. I thank you. Can I take a look at some of these other things that are up for auction? Can take a little cruise around the room?
Yeah. Do you walk right into the room?
Might be
There's a question.
traps.
Yeah. No. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Because we have a little breathing room, little time. Can I cast Detect Magic as a ritual? Do I have enough time for that? It's like 11 minutes.
You could try. It's up to you. Do you want to risk it?
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna try and cast Detect Magic as oh gosh, I'm trying to decide whether or not to burn a spell slot. Right, it feels like this is casting this is the right thing to do, but in terms of whether or not I should burn a spell slot on it to save the time.
Celestine, how about you try to cast that as a ritual just for now, and we'll keep an ear out. And if we hear anything coming, then we'll just run in there, grab it, and then we'll bust through a window. That's not a big deal.
As always, Crater, you know best. So yeah, I'll try and do that. I'll try and cast as a ritual.
I'd like you to roll a luck check for me.
Oh dear.
So 11 to 20 is good, 1 to 10 is bad.
It's bad.
It's bad?
It's a 7.
Okay. About halfway through you ritual casting this, the other two notice that there seems to be, it has come down from like the back side of the room, sort of out of the wall. One of the deco drones from the previous room has entered into this room, and it's just kind of like scouting around. Jesus.
Hello, everybody having fun? Everything marvelous? Looking great? Looking fantastic? It's your hand.
What are we going to do with this thing?
I think Celestine just freezes, just sort of like waits for a second, just see what's going to happen.
Yeah, does this deco drone notice us right away, or is it just kind of aimlessly searching this room?
Should we roll for it?
Yeah,
Jay?
sure. I mean, the luck check determined that there is one in here. You guys aren't being stealthy, so we'll roll a perception check for it, but it doesn't have a high DC. If it breaks a 10, it's going to notice you and come towards you. Why don't you roll that B?
I rolled a crit success. It's a nat 20.
Oh.
We're in danger.
This bot swivels and immediately sees you and starts like powering towards you. What do you guys want to do?
How strong does this bot look?
Not as strong as the pentadrone, but it's still a guard bot.
Oh, I see we have two options here, Riot. You either talk us out of this or I throw it through a window. So
I mean, I think you might have thrown it through a window.
Wow, looking great. This area is restricted.
fancy meeting you here. And I'm going to walk up and I'm going to toss it through one of these windows.
Make an opposed strength check against it.
That's 17 plus 3, so it's dirty 20.
I rolled an 11.
Okay. So, you just chuck this thing. Are you aiming for, which window are you aiming for? The one in the display room or the one in the main item room?
I don't want to do it in the room that has the item that we're trying to grab, because I'm assuming that one has the most security, because that's the most high value item. So the room before that. You
do chuck it through the window. The window breaks as the deco drone flies out and says,
"What a grip! Please come back to Riskotheque next time, non-criminally."
As the window breaks, you hear,
you know, in hindsight, that may have not been the best use of our time here. Maybe let's get moving with this, okay?
I think we should maybe go out the window. I'm just going to come right out and say it.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
I feel like that drop silver in the window is looking pretty good right now.
Totally. Yeah, I think we should just move into this room and maybe just grab his item. Maybe if we have 30 seconds, let's take a peek and see what else is in this room, you know, through all these little other boxes. I think they'd be fun for us, you know.
I mean, maybe grab...
Let's treat ourselves.
You can grab a box maybe, but don't take too long on it.
All right, who's doing what here?
Okay, I'll burn a spell slot for Detect Magic so that I can potentially see if there's any sort of like magical trap or anything like that in this room.
I would say that you could see the laser force fields that are like, it's like Mission Impossible type. There's lasers coming in front of the door, like trying to get into the actual room. So you have to like, it's a dexterity check to get through them. But other than that, you definitely get some magical senses from some of the boxes. And you get a magical sense from the main item.
All right, well, we're dealing with some interesting magical and powerful stuff here in this next room. So if we did have an opportunity to grab something for ourselves, it might come in handy. But you know, all of it's insured, right? Like it's not just the small doggy.
Oh, it's all insured. Don't worry.
Crater, it's all insured.
Grab whatever
okay,
you
all right.
can.
Well, then I suppose we can just.
And get out the window.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Like I'm gonna like cup my hands together and maybe help Celestine. Like once we get in there, just like start stacking boxes on these hands, and we'll jump out the window. Yeah. We'll take everything we can here.
Okay, everyone make a dexterity saving throw as you walk through the lasers.
Is this a trap?
It is a trap.
Okay. As a barbarian, I have a thing called danger sense where I get advantage on that saving throw.
Also, I was thinking about walking along the walls with my spike feet that I have.
Oh my
You
god.
got spike feet?
I have spiked feet.
You can just do that. Fuck that.
Okay.
Fuck that. It rules.
NBD.
Should I still roll?
No, you're fine. The other two, though.
That's a 10 for Celestine.
Okay, fail.
I rolled with advantage, and I also got a 10.
Okay, both you guys are going to take 10 damage from those lasers that cut into you as you go in. You're sort of in a hurry. Luckily, you didn't take damage in the last battle, so
What kind of damage is that?
it is let's say radiant.
You say that's fire damage? It's like when I associate with lasers.
Yeah, sure.
I
We
think
can
it's
say fire damage. I'm down with that.
Okay, I am resistant to fire damage. Thank you very much.
I'll allow it.
I am most certainly not. That was incredibly painful.
Are you actually doing like not great after that?
Well, I'm level 2. That was over half my health.
Well, easy come, easy go.
Wait, are you saying that about me?
No. Of course not, Celeste. No, I'm talking about just your general health. It'll come and go. Like we'll have a good little rest for you once we leave, and you'll be right as rain. In the meantime, I think start stacking some boxes on these hands.
Okay, so you just start grabbing as much stuff as you can. You start to hear the door from the room before bust open. You can hear some like feet like running towards where you are.
Oh my goodness, what happened to these paintings?
All right, I'm going to grab the drop silver out of my pouch.
Okay.
And chuck the 2 into their hands.
Okay.
So they can take it and get the fuck out.
It does take an action to take, so you all like put the quicksilver on. You let it sort of seep in. Basically, you get 1 use of feather fall, so you guys can fall from a great distance and not take any damage. However, if you want to call your vehicle, it's going to take 2 rounds of combat.
Well, how high is this room that we're in? Because like you said that we're like in this glass room that's overlooking Tribunio Vega.
Correct.
So like would our fall take about 2 rounds to deal with?
Oh my god.
Make a perception check.
3.
You're not sure. You can chance it if you want to.
They don't use metric, they use imperial. You have no idea.
All right, so okay, we've got what is our? Are we in? And are we? We're not in initiative, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
But things are progressing, so it depends on what you want to do here.
Yeah, I mean, if we know what the plan is, then sure, I suppose. Like if I hit the fob on the vehicle, is it going to come to like outside this window? Like, is that on the ground, obviously, but like it's going to know to sort of be close to us, to where we are?
That's what you understood.
Okay, well then, I mean, I'll hit the button on the fob.
And so the only item that remains is the main item, of course, the small statue. It's about 1 foot by 1 foot of a small dog that just sits sort of open on this pedestal.
Sorry, DMs, can you tell me what kind of dog?
Tis a terrier.
Pure terrier, no mix, no nothing like that.
It looks like a terrier mutt.
Yeah, but about how old does the statue look? Like how is it a puppy? Is it a full grown dog?
Tis a 2-year-old dog.
Oh, specific.
And the dog's name was fuck you.
Fuck you. What a beautiful name for a dog.
Fiacchio.
Celestine thinks that's what he's going to name his next pet.
Oh, that's nice. All right, maybe I should just go in and grab it.
If we're all good to go here, I might just barrel through this window.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it time to go?
I think it's better to take our chances down there waiting for the vehicle than in here on the warpath of the people who are in security.
Say no more. I'm going to drop a shoulder and charge right through the window at the end of this beautiful display room.
Okay.
Breaking free to to the cityscape that is Troponeo-Vega.
From the adjoining room, you hear like,
Who put my pentadrone in the flower pot?
Crater busts through the window. The window gives very easily to your weight because it's pretty thin and you're pretty large.
Rude.
Well, no, I mean you're a big ol' steam android and you're hot, and this window it's not ready for you, so it just gives. And you all hear a huge shatter as the second that you decide you're going through the window, Crater just takes off in the sprint again through the window.
Oh, God.
Yes.
I assume you've called your vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah. I pressed the fob a little while ago.
And you've grabbed like some boxes that you can see.
Yeah, I'm imagining that I'm falling with like boxes in hand right now, as much as I can carry.
Okay. And Riot,
And I have the main item.
it's got a little more weight to it than you thought it would. It's like a little statue, but it's like surprisingly heavy for what it is. But it feels like well made, basically.
I too leap.
Awesome. So you throw yourself through the window.
Do you do it like Daredevil style, like super cool?
Yeah, kind of like as though I'm doing a bit of a barrel roll out the window into a dive.
You have like a moment where it's like a beautiful view of a city that you haven't really had well, some of you have had more time to take it in than others, but for some of you, you haven't really had the time to like let it sink in. And as you're falling, you're looking around and all the lights are lit up and there's like a few cars rolling around beneath you and the lights are just kind of streaming by and it's beautiful. And then you remember that you're hurtling through the air towards the ground. Luckily, the drop silver kicks in and you might not land gracefully, but you do land unscathed on the ground as your car pulls up just in time. But as it does, you hear that same like alarm from Riskotheque, and you hear it coming from some vehicles that are coming the same way out of the direction that your vehicle just came out of this garage.
Oh my God. Get in.
All right. I suppose this is what y'all brought me along for. And Celestine just like hops over the door, doesn't open it up, just like hops on in, fires up the vehicle and get in, y'all.
Oh, fuck yes.
Here's how this is going to work. You guys are currently in a chase. You're going to roll on a chase table and on an obstacle table 3 times to get out of the city. You have a certain number of chase points, which every time you roll badly on the table, you have a chance to lose these points. Once you get to 3 points, the enemies are in range to shoot at you. Once you're at 2 points, they have melee range, so any melee people in your party can also like take swipes at the other cars. And once you're at 0 points, they have caught up to you and there is no escape.
Oh dear.
The DC that we had set was 5 if you were seen and 7 if you had escaped through the elevator. But since you guys didn't quite get seen, I think you left just in time. Why don't we put it at 6 right between those two?
Split the diff.
So you have 6 points to play with here as you guys get in the car and start heading towards the edge of Troponeo-Vega. I am going to need 3 rolls in total from you guys to try to avoid obstacles. They're going to be a D10. One person can roll them all. There's nothing added to it, or each of you guys can roll. It's up to you.
Let's make this a group effort. I'll go first.
You are driving, Celestine. So I trust you.
I'm driving. Celestine takes the joint from behind his ear, uses Druidcraft to spark it up, and just goes, "All right, let's roll."
Fuck yeah.
That's a 13.
That should be a D10, my friend.
Oh, still 13. Isn't that wild?
You rolled so well.
Neat. Yeah.
That's a 5.
That's never good.
Okay, so as you start the chase, you just go like rip roaring off and like turn a corner to try to lose your pursuers, and like immediately you just run into this like a whole bunch of club goers like pouring out of a club, and you're the first car that they see pulling around the corner, and unfortunately the Ladybird looks just enough like a cab that they start to swarm you. So I'm gonna need you to tell me like what you plan to do to evade these people, like what skill you're gonna use.
And it can be anybody in the car can do this.
I was gonna say, can I like roll down the back window and be like, it's just taken already, and use intimidation?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's 19.
Damn.
Okay, so You for sure make that. So you just like stick your head out the window and start screaming at these drunk people, and like they weren't expecting someone of your size and stature to like yell at them from outside the window, so they drunkenly like stagger back. And you do make it by a bit faster than you would have otherwise, but you still lose 1 point.
Who wants to take the next obstacle roll?
I can take the next one.
Sweet. So roll a d10 for us, please.
Okay. That's a 6.
Oh, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You take your next turn. It's just a straight shot.
You
Yeah.
face no obstacle.
So it all comes down to me. I feel like I've been like min-maxing my rolls this entire session.
You're gonna be great.
That's a 2.
Okay. All right. So you make your second turn like real smoothly. It's just this perfect straightaway. And then you turn the corner and you just have this split second where you realize that you've gotten yourself in a pickle where like you're going to need to squeeze yourself between two vehicles in order to progress. So gonna need sleight of hand or perception.
Can I do that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. For sleight of hand, that is a 23.
Oh my god. Okay.
I kind of like the flavor that you like reached over and helped with the wheel at this point. Like you just saw it coming and like
Yeah.
Just like reach into the front and just slightly cock it.
Yeah, so you do still take half damage, so it would have been 16 to your vehicle, I should say. But you only take 8 damage to the vehicle.
All right.
And this vehicle has got 140 hit points.
You chose well.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Oh, I was picturing this being like 18 hit points. I was like, yikes.
No,
we're fine.
we're driving the ladybird.
Yeah, the vehicle was chosen, in fact, by Celestine beforehand.
What happens is you like you reach forward and you just like twist the wheel and the car just like goes horizontal up on two wheels. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
vertical, like turns on its side and just like drives through the two cars, like defying physics entirely.
Just like Vin Diesel in that movie. that everyone
Triple
loves.
X? I don't know.
That's right.
I live for this shit.
This is a family. That was my Vin Diesel.
I don't have relatives. I have family.
Yeah, that's right.
That was some mighty fancy wheel work there, Ms. Riot.
Anytime.
As you pass this last obstacle, you roll up to the toll gates at the entrance of Troponio Vega.
Ooh.
Hey, Crater, you still got that coin that you won off of Uncle Edict?
And as you like look in the rear view mirror, I'm just like casually flipping it in my hand. Be like, yeah, we're good.
Oh my god.
All right, a toll person comes up and they knock on your window with like a baton.
What can I do for you on this fine evening, my friend?
Hey, yeah, where you going there? What's your business leaving Troponio?
Oh, we're just on our way to do a party outside town, celebrate the Year of the Fool and all that. Did you hear that the wheel back there just spun the world? Crazy business,
Now, you say you're on your way out of town to another party here, but you realize that this leads out of the city. That's a little odd. What party are you going to outside the city?
It's a private party, just some friends doing an outdoors thing, under the stars.
Can I come?
Make a persuasion check.
Policy.
I'm gonna do it.
I got a nat 20.
You are the DM now.
I honestly have no idea what to do from here. What is going to happen?
Yeah, give me your Pip contact details, and then you could just message me where the party is. I get off in 2 hours.
I kind of look to Riot for help because I know she'll be able to lie to this guy better than I will.
Yeah, okay. I'll be like, yeah, give us your number. Give it to us. We'll absolutely call you.
Oh my god, it's Riot. Hey, Tony. It's Riot.
What? Riot?
Yeah. Actually, what the fuck, right?
Like Riot from Pip? Holy shit.
Yeah, like Riot from
Holy
Pip.
shit.
I step
Right
on the
here in
gas.
back of
Fuck,
this
I step on the
ladybird.
gas. I floor it.
Okay, you bust through.
The toll booth guys will remember this.
And maybe get fired over this.
Yeah, and you roll out towards your next contact who is going to meet you near the water to take you in their water vehicle.
So cool.
The sun sets on another spinning of the wheel in Draponia Vega. Fucking roll persuasion. And then you don't know what to fucking do. Bob.
Peter, that was the most badass D&D moment I have ever seen. Just like turn the tables on the DMs.
That was so sick.
Oh God.
As you roll out on into the Phantom Isles, and you take a moment of calm here after a remarkably successful heist. There were many opportunities for you to have messed that up, and
So many.
all in all, not bad. As you're sort of taking a moment of quiet and calm, you're all sitting in the car, and there's just like a moment of silence that falls over you, and you hear a crack coming from where Riot is sitting.
What was that?
Yeah.
Oh God. I guess I take out the puppy, seeing as that's the only thing.
It is the puppy. So as you take it out, you get your first like real close look at it, and you can see that it's got quartz for eyes. Its body is this very smooth marble that has a few cracks in it, a few that are multiplying. And you watch as, with a seam of light that seems to be coming from inside it, this thing kind of erupts into a spider web of cracks and continues to glow brighter and brighter and brighter, and then just fucking erupts into tiny shards all over the inside of the ladybird. And what you hold in your hands now is a box.
Oh, Jesus.
And as you realize what you're holding, you begin to hear something.
To the fools before me, are you free? I've been dying to extend my invitation to my esteemed trustees. It takes a key to fulfill or to deny your obligations. Some who seek to stop you, they're after me. They'll take the key. They'll take the key. Please do not let them.
And the box falls silent.